What's up? What's up, everybody? Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to Info Media Reacts. It's been a little minute since I've gone live on this channel. Everybody knows what's going on. The breaking news that P Diddy is he's arrested. Let me say this: that several months ago, when this whole thing broke out, I did a video on the first channel, the Information Man Show channel. And a lot of people out there, some people felt that, oh, he's not going to get arrested. He's got money. He knows too much. He knows where all the bodies are buried. He knows he's got videotapes on people. This is not going to happen. And I just want to let you guys know that as you see in the description of this video, God don't like ugly, and what goes around comes around, and the hens are going to always come home to roost.
Tell the truth.
They're always, your shit that you put out in the universe is going to come back to you. Whatever you put out, negatively or positively, the hens are coming back home to roost on your ass. We all were blown away by the video of him putting his hands on Cassie Ventura, who he was in a relationship with. He was trying to make her a pop star, and that's what they do in the music business, because this is what Sean Puffy Combs was taught, and we're going to get into that today, is that they're taught to use people. They know that people who come from poor backgrounds are looking to make it big, and they can play on that, and that is part of trafficking. You can use what people want to manipulate them into doing things that you want them to do, which could be part of what they're talking about with the trafficking. Everybody's been making a big issue, or making fun, or making jokes, or talking about, oh, they got this man on is the 140 bottles of baby oil or lubricant. You're missing the point. This is the shit that he's been using in having his freak off parties. This is what he's been using, the drugs to entice people, and all the shit that's been going on in P Diddy's world. Now, he gave us a bullshit, half-hearted apology for what he did to Cassie. But he's been doing this for a long time. The thing that really kills me, ladies and gentlemen, and let me know that you can hear me by putting sevens in the chat room. The thing that really kills me about this whole situation is that you got folks on the social media streets like Umar Johnson jumping out the window and trying to say that P Diddy has been railroaded. No, P Diddy railroaded himself. What I don't understand about black folks on the social media streets that's defending this man, that's making excuses for him, coming up with conspiracy theories, is that how many of y'all have really taken the time to examine the fact that P Diddy's been hurting and harming and doing shit to black people, just like Corey Holcomb said on his 5150 show, that all the people that he's been doing harm to is black people. So we got all these people who talk about black power. Let's support the black community. Let's not put a brother in jail. He's black, she's black. But look at what P Diddy did. Everybody that he harmed was a black person. Everyone that he ripped off in the music business was a black person. What white people, what Asians, Latinos, what black guy that you see P Diddy beat up or put over a balcony? What white woman or other woman of other race that you see P Diddy slapping around? We know that he did Kim Porter wrong. Have y'all thought about that? The woman that bared his children, he did her wrong. Everything that this man has done, he has done to bring down and harm black people. We can even look at the case of Shine, who ended up doing, what, 9 to 10 years on a lie that he was the one that shot this sister right here. This sister right here who told her story.
Finally felt like justice would be done. Justice would be mine and belong to all of his victims.
Yeah, and you have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you. I mean, I think you even said it to the doctor that night, right?
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the gun.
This woman right here. So anybody on the, I'm telling you right now, everybody, and I don't care who they are, how big of a YouTuber they are, how big of a personality they are. I don't give a damn. Anybody on their channels telling you that he's been railroaded, that he ain't guilty, that, why they're coming after P. Diddy. They're going after all the rappers and all the entertainers. These rappers and entertainers haven't done a damn thing for black people other than give us a concert. Most of what P. Diddy sold to black people was liquor. All of his business ventures were based in liquor. 50 Cent's the same way. All of his shit is based in liquor. Black people don't need liquor. We don't need cigarettes. We don't need the marijuana. We don't need any of that stuff. P. Diddy hasn't done anything that we should set up here and put up a flag for him, that we should cape for him. Everybody he harmed was a black person. He harmed that black woman right there who just told you that it was P. Diddy that shot her, not Shine. The reason why I'm going through this right now, because we're going to go chronological as to what's happening right here. Before I get to the video clips that we're going to examine today, I'm going to do on my channel what most people are not going to do. Most people are going to get up here on the YouTube streets, make excuses for a black man who has spent most of his life taking advantage of other black people, black women, black men, whether it be taking advantage of them when it comes to their record contracts with the money, right? Or taking advantage of them sexually, both men and women. Y'all defending that? Y'all making conspiracy theories for that? He's exactly where he needs to be, in jail. And from what I'm understanding, the guys that are in the jail that he's at in New York and Brooklyn, they want to get their hands on him. That's the rumor out there, that they would like to get their hands on him, because I know this from my profession, that guys in prison don't like guys who do what? Sexual crimes and do PDF against kids. That's the new word we're using now, the PDF word. And you know what that is. They don't like guys who engage in sexual crimes against minors and women and PDFs. They don't like it. So that's why the rumor right now is that they would like to get their hands on P. Diddy. There's a reason why they've got him in a secured environment, although we know that Epstein, when he was in New York, he mysteriously ended up, they said he took his life, but many of us believe that it was that the fix was in, allegedly. So they had to move him to Brooklyn's secure facility, and they say that he's dealing with a lot of different things in there, right? You know, the rats, the roaches, everything that he deserves to be in. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to set up here and give this man a pass and make excuses for him. His past transactions is what got him here. It ain't a conspiracy. It ain't the government. No, P. Diddy put himself in this position, and there were those that mentored him that contribute to what he has done. The Clyde Davises of the world, allegedly. The Andre Farrells of the world, allegedly. Inside P. Diddy's jail, infested with rats, were Maxwell. Remember the woman who was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Sean Diddy Combs has been jailed after he was denied bail following his sex trafficking charges. He was arrested in New York on Monday evening. And I know that there's people out there that are crybabying and saying, why they had to go and give him the sex trafficking? That's mafia stuff. I'm going to explain to you. The lawyers are going to explain to you that I'm going to play today. I'm going to explain to you why it sticks with him. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship with a female or you have friendships with various females. If you co-host, if you pressure them, if you beat them, if you manipulate them into having sexual intercourse with multiple people that are prostitutes, for example, and you're moving them from state to state, that's interstate. That is a form of sex trafficking. A lot of us think that sex trafficking is just you snatching a woman. You know, you kidnap her and you take her to another country, or you take her. As a matter of fact, America leads the world in sex trafficking, y'all. You take her, you snatch her up and you take her here, take her there. There's different forms of sex trafficking. But see, I think people have a problem with these charges because maybe they're too in love with the celebrity of P. Diddy. You grew up watching him, you grew up listening to his music, and you enjoyed it. And for some of you out there, you've been living vicariously through his life, hoping, wishing that you could live the life that this man has been living when they tell you about the wild parties. Now, today, I want to be as subjective as I can. I don't want to be too personal. I'm saying some things, giving my personal opinions right now. But the reality is that the videos that I'm going to show you today will reinforce why this man deserves to be where he is today, and that what goes around comes around, and God doesn't like ugly. And when you're doing people wrong, like he did Cassie, it has come back to hit him like hens coming home to roost, y'all, like hens coming home to roost. P. Diddy is going to pay for the things that he's done. You've got guys in that jail right now who would love to get their hands on him. This man will have to be in protective custody throughout his whole time in jail. And if he is convicted and sent to a prison institution, he'll have to be in a protective custody situation because now he's high profile. And I wonder where he is in jail, or maybe if he goes to prison when he's convicted, which I think he will be convicted, he'll have plenty of time to think everything over. And I wonder if they have baby oil or lubricant there for him. Or the lubricant and baby oil may be used on him. P. Diddy may have to bend over for somebody and take it. Now, I'm not being hyperbolic. These things go on in prison. That's why they have to keep him in protective custody for his dirty deeds. Let me go on and say this. This is America. Everybody in America is technically supposed to be guilty until they're supposed to be innocent, should I say, until they're proven guilty. I want to thank everybody that's coming over to watch this program today. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty under our laws of justice. There's the lady of justice right there, right? That's what we've been taught to believe, but that's never been true or the facts for black people, right? Who have been railroaded. In this case, I'm not setting up here today to say that this man has been railroaded. He has done so many things over the years. There's too many damn receipts on him. Let me read this to you right here. November 16th. This is how this whole thing opened up. November 16th, Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against Combs, alleging that he R'd her in 2018 and subjected her to years of long abuse in the relationship that included in physical abuse, in complete control over her body and mind, over her personal and professional life. Okay, November 17th, Ventura settled for $30 million suit in a settlement. And I know people are saying, oh, this is about baby oil and this is not about, why they keep talking about Cassie when it's because the feds picked the case up. See, Umar Johnson said some stupid stuff when he put out a video on his Instagram. The man who has no home, no office, and lives out of a rent-a car. What he failed to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that even if she settled the case with him, the state case, just that, state case, with a settlement, it doesn't keep the feds from wanting to come in and look at the case and say, wait a minute, because that's what they do. Is this man racketeering? Is this man sex trafficking? Is this man got some criminal organization going? It doesn't preclude them from looking at the case, even if she's settled with him. It doesn't conclude them from subpoenaing her or either talking to her about various other things just because she settled a state case. This is federal now, baby. This is what people don't seem to understand on these YouTube streets as they sit up here making excuses for P. Diddy. I've always been taught that excuses are tools of the incompetent, and those that use them seldom succeed in life. Excuses are tools of the foolish. This man got himself in this by himself. This is no conspiracy theory. This is no Illuminati. Don't want to hear that nonsense. This isn't he owes somebody something in the industry. No, this is P. Diddy who did this all by himself. This isn't about, oh, y'all bringing a black man down. This black man has harmed black women and black men. So I don't want to hear nobody in that chat room today or anybody. If anybody leaves a comment on this video talking about he's being railroaded, oh, man, come on, you know the system. I don't want to hear any of that. Those comments will be deleted. I don't want to hear any of that because facts is facts. Didn't the man himself, Cat Williams, give us a damn warning? Here we go.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times, just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Cat Williams, no matter what you think of Cat Williams, has been warning us about Holly Weird for a number of years now. He told us in some of his comedy routines that he was at a party and he saw some suspicious things going on with these Hollywood type people, right? Holly Weird, as we call it, right? Everybody will do anything for money, for fame, for richness, to be top dog. And that's how he was able to do what he did to Cassie in the first place, because of her desire to be a star and him telling her, I can make you a star. And then the thing that's sad is that Eric Adams in the city of New York gave this man the key to New York, knowing he had a dirty history that even goes all the way back to prior to the situation with Cassie. But God, as I said again, doesn't like ugly, and the hens are coming home to roost on his ass. And as I said, in November 17, Cassie settled got a $30 million settlement, or she sued him, but got $30 million. And guess what? This is why you know P. Diddy knew he was guilty, that he knew he did something to her. A lot of y'all were shaming this young lady and saying, oh, she's just out to get the money. No, that's what he owed her, because he put hands on her, and you all saw the videotape. We all saw the video of him beating her like an animal. We all saw this. This man is not innocent of anything. We all saw this. We all saw how he ran out like this, chased her because she decided to leave him. And because he couldn't, he goes out there like a fool and does this to her. See, look at that. Drags her to the ground, kicks her. This is the bullshit. Y'all want to defend that kind of stuff? It's just like R. Kelly. Oh, we had people on the YouTube streets and we had people defending R. Kelly in his effery. That man kicked her. She was trying to get away from him because the man is a nut. Let me give you a breakdown right here. This is from the case. In or around March 16th, during a FO at the Internal Continental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles. That's a nice area of Los Angeles if you've ever been to California. Mr. Combs became extremely intoxicated, punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye. After he fell asleep, this is why she left. This is why she was trying to get away from this fool when he did this to her, you see, and kicked her again. This is why he was trying to get away from her, everybody. This is what has led up to him being arrested in the whole 9 yards. It's because out of what he did to her and abusing her is how the feds were able to make their case by delving into the other things that he was doing, even though she settled with him. After he fell asleep, Ms. Ventura tried to leave the hotel room, but as this is from the documented indictment on his ass, Ms. Ventura tried to leave the hotel room, but she excited Mr. Combs woke up. As she exited from the hotel room, Mr. Combs awoken and began screaming at Mrs. Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. That's what we couldn't hear, y'all. The yelling at her, grabbing her, and then took a glass vase in the hallway and threw it at her. We seen this. This was the video that came out. This is the video that broke a lot out. A lot of people thought that this young lady was lying about this man, that this was all a lie. See here, here's the document. There it is. Mr. Combs became extremely intoxicated. Just what I read to you a few minutes ago. That's the document right there on the video. So he did some horrible things to her. Once again, let y'all see that again. He runs down there butt naked and he does that. Boom. Just what you're reading right there. As she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and did harm to her. This is what we're talking about. How can anybody set up here on any social media stream over these weeks? That's why I didn't go live when this whole thing broke out right away, because I wanted to sit back, let more details come out. It's always better to let more details come out. So now you have more facts to go on than speculation. So this is the thing. How many of you out there realize that the day that she filed the lawsuit against P. Diddy and he ended up paying her the $30 million, he immediately gave her the money the day after she filed? That's because P. Diddy didn't want anybody to know about his dirty deeds. He wanted to keep it all quiet, all clean. He didn't want you to know anything about it. This is the man that we've been listening to his music, and he gets into what many people believe, that this man has an alternative lifestyle. He's messing around with men, allegedly. He's messing around with women. He's have well-known celebrities there, like the Al Sharptons of the world that go LL Cool J. I'm not accusing LL of anything. That go P. Diddy right there. That go Russell Simmons, another man who's not in America. He's over there in Bowie, acting like he's a yoga, getting on Instagram, trying to give y'all good words of the day, but yet he don't come to the country that much. Now, there's been a rumor out there that he's come and visit every now and then. I don't know. But there's people that believe that P. Diddy learned the things that he learned about how he treated people in the music business by people like Russell Simmons, Andre Pharrell, and someone like Clyde Davis, who were at these parties. That go Al Sharpton. I'm going to say it again. That go Al Sharpton, the informant. P. Diddy's been doing questionable stuff on camera. Look at this. Look at how he's groping this white man right here. What's that all about? Somebody please tell me. There go P. Diddy. Let's not play around here. We're not dealing with a good man. And this is why Cat Williams was on fire when he said these words right here, y'all.
What you get? I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, back in November 23rd, an anonymous plaintiff accused Combs and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall of R-ing her and her friends in 1990 or in 1991 after meeting at a MCA record event in New York. Can you believe that? This man, the hens are coming home to roost on his ass. There's a reason why this is happening to him. So why at MCA Records he was harming these women, the suit that said that Mrs. Dickerson Neal complaint was filed shortly before the expiration of the New York law temporarily allowing lawsuits for older assaults in New York. This is crazy, y'all. Temporarily allowing lawsuits for older assaults, alleged allegations that would have originally been past the statute of limitation. Isn't that something? P. Diddy, New York, Manhattan. And you're looking at Manhattan right now there on the screen, if I'm not mistaken, everybody, because the truth of the matter is P. Diddy, as you already know, was arrested in Manhattan. Sean Combs arrested in Manhattan after grand jury indicted him. The music mogul has been under mounting scrutiny since 2023 lawsuit by his former girlfriend, Cassie, according to him, accusing him of sex trafficking and years of abuse. She already had that in her suit against him. She got the settlement of $30 million. People criticized her, called her a gold digger. Then when y'all saw that video of him beating her, you all had a different point of view about P. Diddy when he was exposed on that video. And you know the video that we're talking about, y'all, as we go into further discussion. Check this out.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help.
Now, I want to tell you all right now, do you believe, and we're going to break this down real nice today, do you believe that P. Diddy is taking responsibility for what he did? He never showed any proof that he was involved in any therapy. You had no psychologist, no psychiatrist, nobody who came out and said, yes, I've been seeing P. Diddy for a number of years now or a number of months to help him deal with some of his problems since the situation with Cassie. Have you seen any reports? You know, if P. Diddy was truly innocent and was trying to push that narrative based on truth, that he would have submitted proof that he had been getting therapy. We have seen no proof of this. This is just this man the bottom line is he got caught, and this was a PR stunt on his part and his people's part to have him do this video to make it seem like he was feeling guilty about what he did, that he was sorry about what he was doing, and that he had so-called got help. This whole video that he did was, to me, to manipulate us, the public, because this man was doing shit to people even prior to him eventually coming out with this video, only coming out with this video because he was exposed in the other video when he was putting his hands on Cassie in a very nasty way. This is why I don't feel sorry about Sean Diddy Combs being in a rat-infested prison environment. He has screwed over a lot of people, and sometimes what goes around comes around, as I said before, everybody, and sometimes things just got to come around, and it's coming around for him. Let's go back into the regular studio. Everybody, do me the biggest favor. If you're watching me on your tablet, on your iPhone, your Droid phone, your laptop, your desktop, you see the button that says share. Go ahead and share this video right now to your social media, your Facebook, your X, your Twitter, whatever we call it. I want to thank you all for watching so far today. I want to say go ahead and comment on this video when you get a chance today, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We definitely appreciate that. This is Info Media Reacts. We do things a little bit different on this particular channel from my other channel, The Information Man Show. We get really deep dive into what's happening with pop culture, social media, celebrities, everything, sports figures. We touch on examining all sorts of weird things that are happening in this world as it relates to these particular individuals like a Sean Diddy Combs. I want to thank Can We Just Get Along for the super chat. Really appreciate that. We're on these YouTube streets, and I'm sick and tired of what I've been listening to, of all the damn excuses that people are making. I'm going to get to the Umar Johnson video, and to black women out there, I don't know why you follow and support a Umar Johnson, a man who talks about black women all the time in sexual manners, talking about your cookies. Now he's got a new word where he's calling what you got there a sugar box. Everything that he talks about is about something sexual. And this is a man who's supposed to be building a school, which he has not done, has no faculty, has no students, no nothing, still a dump out there in Delaware, Wilmington, a dump. And then he has the nerve to get up here and give his thoughts about things, and he don't even have himself together right. But let me put this up here for you. When P Diddy was arrested, this is what I'm trying to tell you for those out there who putting out false information. P Diddy did not get what we call ambushed. He actually knew that they were going to arrest him the night that he got arrested in New York. He actually came back to New York, and prior to getting arrested, this is a real time footage of him at the Central Park in New York prior to them arresting him, because he came back to New York and he knew that they were going to arrest him. Hit 7s in the chat room if you have seen this video. I'm stopping it right there because you made a good point, Can we just get along? He looking sad. He does look sad because he knows that the end is near. He knew that they were coming to get him. So anybody that tells you that this is a black man who got ambushed in the government and the feds and the Illuminati and all these type of people, they surprised. No, he knew he was getting arrested. This is my argument right here. I believe that P Diddy went to the Central Park because this might be the last time this man can sit in a park and enjoy the sunshine and enjoy Central Park, which, by the way, to give you a little bit of history, Central Park is where black people lived in New York. Black people had a thriving community in Central Park, and then they stole it from us, redlined us out of it, blighted it and everything, and took the land from black people. Just a little bit of history there for y'all.
Tell the truth.
I say this again and again and again and again. P. Diddy, I believe, went to Central Park prior to getting arrested because he knew that this might be the last time he ever has a chance to actually sit in a beautiful park with people, look at beautiful green grass, and just enjoy. But he didn't look. You could tell he wasn't feeling happy. You could tell, you're right, that there was a concern on his mind. You can tell that. Let me read the super chat that my sister just left me to be respectful, and I appreciate the super chat from Sister Can We Just Get Along? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. $5 super chat. She says this: Diddy is a wake-up call on a macro and a micro level. You're absolutely correct. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
You do bad deeds, you get bad rewards, period. Right. You do this sort of stuff, you're going to get bad rewards. But this is the thing. Don't go nowhere, because I've got a video to show you that was on Newsmax 2. Looks like there's other executives that had problems with P. Diddy. There's some other people that are going to come out. There are celebrities out there that are concerned about, obviously, what videotapes are the feds looking at? And if they were involved in some of these sex capades, they could be on it. Now, I got to be fair here. It has been said that P. Diddy would spike that P. Diddy allegedly at his parties, you would have well-known people that they would take something and wake up and be like buck naked, like they never knew how they got naked. So if he's putting things, if they're putting stuff in drinks, allegedly, then you could actually be taken advantage of and didn't even know. Remember, for those of you who follow me on the Information Man show, when I did a story about P. Diddy, remember Columbus Short, the actor? He said he went to a P. Diddy event and he drunk something. They asked him, what you like to drink? And I think he said some Hennessy or something. And he said that the room started spinning, shit started going weird. And then I think his manager found him and he told his manager, get me the hell out of here. I think they gave me something because they were trying to get him. Remember, Columbus Short told us that he was at home with his wife, and he gets a phone call from P. Diddy saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, oh, man, I'm in the bed. And P. Diddy was telling him, I'm at the hotel. Come on over. And then Columbus Short said, well, who else is over there? And P. Diddy said to him, just me. And Columbus Short wasn't having no parts of that. Diddy's been shady since the beginning. Thank you, brother. What's going on, Tony D? Everybody, Peggy Roster, everybody that's here. Waves, everybody that's here. Make sure you share the video. Because I've got some dimes to show y'all today. I got some good stuff. You don't want to go anywhere. Cat Williams told us that P. Diddy he told us about this, man, and we failed to listen. He told us. We failed to listen. We've been failing to listen to a lot of people who have prophesized the weirdness of Holly Weird. I got to say it again. holly weird. Sometimes I just don't know what's wrong with us following these type of monsters and defending these type of monsters. Let's get into it right now. I'll be telling the truth here. Cassie is the straw that broke the camel's back when the feds looked into her case and they saw some things that were very suspicious, which is why they went after him. We're not talking about an innocent black man here, so I don't want to hear you're putting a black man down. All right? Remember what he did to Little Rod? Little Rod came out and said that he felt that he was grooming him, touching him, doing some misconduct towards him. Okay? In November 23rd, a woman named Miss Dixon Neal alleged in a lawsuit that Combs dragged her, sexually assaulted her, and security recorded the assault while she was a college student back in 91. Back in December 6, Combs is hit with another sexual assault suit in December, accusing the rapper of dragging and participating in a gang R. You know what a gang R is? Of an unarmed or unnamed woman in 2003 when the accuser was 17 years old. This is crazy. February 26th, producer Rodney Little Rod, who you see right here, Jones sued the rapper in New York in February and alleged that he was subjected to unwanted advancements by associates of Diddy, like Gooding Jr. He was put in there in his direction and was forced to engage in relations with sex workers he hired in a set of covered allegation. A allegation in relations with sex workers. This is crazy. The lawsuit that Combs regularly hosted sex trafficking parties that came from Little Rod with underage women, illegal drugs. Applies record label executive who looked the other way, saying that there were record executives at those parties who looked the other way, financially benefiting from access to celebrities, dignitaries, like the British royal Prince Harry, who is not accused of any wrongdoing of attending P. Diddy's parties. This came out in the Los Angeles Times, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a lot of shit going on with this guy. And of course, let's not forget the mysterious passing of Kim Porter, who was coming out with a tell-all book where she had alleged that P. Diddy had been engaging in homosexual activity for years in their relationship and that he had been doing a lot of shady stuff. And then she dies mysteriously. Of course, we know the intimate party when he was in a relationship with J-Lo, and there was talk about the gun that was shot that night allegedly by P. Diddy in the scuffle that he had. That people are saying that it was that he had gave her a gun, allegedly, Miss J-Lo, and that she had handed him the gun. They said that she had nothing to do with what happened that night, but they both were arrested and let go. J-Lo was crying like a baby that night. And there are some that believe that the reason why, not only what happened that night, that the reason why she broke away from P. Diddy is because he was beginning to start grooming her and treating her and what he was able to successfully do to Cassie, who you see right here. The man is nasty. The man is nasty. I don't know how anybody can justify the bullshit with this man. Let's not forget on this night right here, this sister right here, Sister Reuben, she testified that she witnessed Combs pull out the gun. She got shot in the nose, but they tried to blame it on Shine, who's from Belize. He was an immigrant from Belize. He's now a diplomat or a politician in Belize. His father was the prime minister of Belize. I didn't even know that until I did further research. Shine was railroaded for 10 years over Diddy's deeds. So what I'm saying to you is that this man is no saint. He's been doing dirt for years and getting away with it. Miss Reuben says she is willing to have the bullet fragments removed from her face to prove, as she claims, that Diddy's not Shine shot her. She's now 53 years old. She's shown here after she was shot in the face at the infamous Club New York shooting in December 1999. Reuben has long insisted that Diddy is the one that shot her, and I do have a video of her today for you to also to see. All of this is a damn shame. In May 19th, Cassie Ventura, Combs' ex-girlfriend, speaks out after CNN attains a 2016 document or video of Combs attacking her in a hotel halfway, stated on Instagram. And we know about that already. I played that already. I'm just giving you a little bit of this man's dirt. And May 22nd, former model Crystal McKinney files a lawsuit in Manhattan. Manhattan in New York, y'all. This is another woman. A federal court accusing the rapper of dragging another situation where he drags another woman. This guy's got problems. Dragging and sexually assaulting her at the New York recording studio in 2003. This man has a problem with putting his hands on women. This man has a problem with putting his hands on women. Let me play something. Let's get ready to get into these clips, these videos, to put some perspective on everything. And let's get into it, everybody. Appreciate you being here. And here we go. This is the one that I think was the breaking story that happened over the week here.
Remember these scenes over his homes in both Miami and there, as well in Beverly Hills, where those search warrants were issued and those searches of his properties were given, and they were executed there at his homes as part of these ongoing criminal investigations into alleged sex trafficking. Now, at the time, it was very unclear what the search warrants referred to there at the time. But according to TMZ, the arrest tonight is in connection with those searches. And you remember at the time that we were over this story for a very long time that day earlier this year. I'm trying to get an exact date from my producer to jog my memory. March the 25th. So March 25th, the same day, 2 of Diddy's residences were searched by federal law enforcement there in Beverly Hills and his home in Miami in connection to what we knew at the time was an alleged federal sex trafficking investigation. And you remember these scenes, his mansion there in the Holmby Hills and his mansion there in Miami. So this is breaking right now. We are working to get more details. We are working to get more people on the line to help us make sense of what exactly happened today. But all we know right now is that Diddy has been arrested in New York. The New York Times and TMZ both have it. I have it up here at the New York Times. They say this, I'm reading from their piece, that Sean Combs, the music mogul whose career has been upended by sexual assault lawsuits in a federal investigation, was arrested in Manhattan on Monday evening after a grand jury indicted him. Now, this is important. At the time, we brought on legal affairs journalist Megan Cuniff, who is based in Los Angeles, and she noted at the time, back in March, that it looked like these warrants were approved by judges in New York, which led Megan Cuniff to believe at the time that maybe the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York was the lead on these probes and these investigations into federal sex trafficking allegations here. Now, that was Megan Cuniff's supposition at the time. I think it has borne out now because Diddy was arrested by federal authorities.
Okay. So we know, you know the story. He was arrested. And we know that a lot of this has to do with these freak off parties that he has. It ain't everybody was making jokes and making issues over, oh, they just found some bottle. He being arrested or he's being condemned for having bottles of baby oil. It's not about the actual baby oil itself. It's about the charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, and that the bottles that he had, 140 bottles, if I'm not mistaken, it was a lot of bottles, which no normal person has those many bottles. These were the things that he was using when engaging in these sex parties. And this is another thing y'all got to understand too. If you have a party and you engage in putting people under the influence without them knowing, and then you're putting them in compromising situations, and then you got them on video, that's criminal activity. So I don't know why everybody on these YouTube streets are trying to deny this, justify this man as, oh, they railroading him. No, anytime you go to a party, somebody puts something in your drink to lower your inhibitions, right? To make you, to coerce you into doing something against your will because they put you under the influence. They spike your drink. That's criminal. That's what was going on allegedly at his parties. That's criminal activity. And if you give pills to the women and people and then have men come in and take advantage of them under the influence, that is sex trafficking, because you're allowing people to have sex with them against their will. Just like when you snatch somebody up and you make them do something, you're doing something against their will. If they're under the influence, they were not able to give consent to what you had planned for them. I don't understand why people don't understand this. This is very elementary critical thinking here. Let me go to another clip. It's just unbelievable to me, the excuses that we're willing to make. Now, remember Gene Deal? He predicted this because he said the feds are probably coming for him after 3 months after they raided the home. I don't understand why people don't understand how the feds work. First of all, the feds do not raid your house. Joe Brown was on the Art of the Dialogue talking about, well, why did they raid these houses but not that houses? And this is a man that's a judge who claims that he knows the law. Think about it. If you're going to raid somebody's houses or a house or houses, you're going to raid the houses where you actually know there's evidence of the person's criminal deeds. That's why they raided the New York mansion, the Miami, and the LA, because they know that those are the places where he's been having these wild, illicit parties where weird shit is happening. Why did they know this? Because Cassie, Little Rod, and those that have filed complaints against P Diddy, they put these things in their complaints. They basically said, this is where it's happening. This is where they're doing the deed. Just because they don't search another house doesn't mean the man is innocent. You search where you have the best intel. The feds do not search your house. They don't do a raid on you. They don't do anything on you unless they've got solid evidence that they got your ass. And then after they collect that evidence, I don't care if it's a little bag of evidence, a little computers, because they know that this man is filming stuff. He's got videos in his house, so they're going to get all that stuff. And most predators like P Diddy, and I know this because I deal with predators for a living. I know how this works in the prison system. Most predators like to collect their deeds. That's their weakness. They like to have trophies of what they've been doing. They collect. The problem with P Diddy is that he kept this shit in computers, chips, however he stored it. And that's why the feds raided certain houses. And this is why, and when they raided the houses and a lot of months went by, everybody was like, oh, they got nothing on them, ain't nothing gonna happen. You're wrong. The feds take their time like wine. They don't rush, they take their time. They build their case up so that once they bring your ass to court, it's a shoo-in that you're gonna be convicted. They don't play around. See, I think a lot of us, we get the local police systems mixed up with the feds. The feds and the regular city police or the regular state police, the feds don't operate like them. They operate on a whole different level. And if you would understand that, you would know why it took this long, why this whole thing has come out the way it's come out. Let's listen to my man Gene Deal, who used to be a security or bodyguard for P Diddy. He's been exposing this man for some time, since cutting loose of this man himself. And there is Gene Deal. And here we go.
You still think Diddy getting arrested? I believe he's coming in September.
Boom. So Gene Deal was on the Art of the Dialogue, and he made the prediction that the man was going to be arrested in September based on the way the feds operate. Hear it again.
September on the way, man. You still think Diddy getting arrested? I believe he's coming in September. Because you got to realize the grand jury intervened. They may have 45 days, 60 days, 90 days. They never usually go past 120 days. They got enough information, and they probably got enough stuff that he's probably willing to plea bargain or see if they're going to give him that.
Boom. Now, Deal made a great point there that if they've got it, they probably got enough stuff, which is why they brought charges against him in the first place, because they have enough stuff that's going to stick to P Diddy. He's not getting out of this one, y'all. I don't care. This is about the law. This is about a man who has been getting away with stuff for a number of years, going all the way back to the shooting in 1999 in New York at that club. I'm going to come back to that too, because I have a video of Shine as a politician. He's a mature man today, breaking down why this man, P Diddy, has betrayed him. They take their time. They build a case against you. That's what people have to and need to understand.
If they're going to let him plead or something. But I don't think the grand jury is going past 120 days. And this is inside information you're getting, right? Or this is something you believe personally? Well, I believe that personally. And then for the fact of the matter is that I know somebody who testified to the grand jury, to the Homeland Security. And they was made reference to some they thought that they couldn't go nowhere around in September or whatever like that. So,
oh, I see what he's saying. He's saying that the person that he knows that gave their testimony to the grand jury was told that they could not travel, meaning you can't take a vacation, You can't go out of town. You can't leave town. You can't go here and go there because they're going to need that person to stick around when they bring the charges and bring this man to court. Now, we know that P. Diddy right now made two opportunities towards trying to get bail. They won't give him bail. I found out that, as you probably all know, that his lawyers are now made a third attempt. They're making a third attempt to see if they can get him bail because he's in a really horrible jail in Brooklyn where they've got rats, infestedness, and they've got guys in there that would like to do harm to P. Diddy. And he's in a protective custody, a secure, so-called secured environment. So they say in Brooklyn. The same place that R. Kelly was at. This is where R. Kelly was housed when he was going through his situation, y'all. Just showing y'all some pictures here. Let's get back to it.
Maybe around in September, something will happen.
Yep, and it did.
Well, that's what they're waiting on. That's why all these documentaries and these people are waiting on. They waiting on him to get arrested. They waiting on the grand jury to say, we find him guilty, we indict him, and the whole 9 yards. And watch how many documentaries and how many YouTubers and everybody gonna talk about it and everything like that.
Right, brother.
But it is what it is.
Like me, yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. Now, let me show you another video. There's another guy who's close to the situation as well. I think his name is Reggie Wright, who also made a prediction that this was going to happen to P. Diddy. Let's maybe hear a little bit from him. Here we go, y'all.
Happened yet? He hasn't been raided yet.
This is back in March 11th. He hadn't been raided yet. This is March 11th, 2024. Didn't they raid his properties in April or May? Give me a reminder, everybody. Give me a reminder. And let me go up here. And we have a $2 super chat. Thank you. From Can We Just Get Along? Bet the feds will also find some connection with Pac too. Oh, I've got a video from Pac. Don't go away, because Pac did not trust P. Diddy. This is why I don't understand why anybody is caping for Puff Daddy or Sean Combs, because this man has harmed black people. He's harmed some of your favorite rappers. He's harmed women. He's done alleged unusual sexual things towards people. People have said that they have experienced sexual touching from this man, allegedly, that they did not want. They've gone to parties and have had strange things or seen strange things, allegedly. Everything that this man has done has come at the expense of harming black people. So how can anybody run around here like Umar Johnson and anybody on these social media streets and sit up here and make excuses for this man? Alicia, how you doing? Queen, I know I am. How you doing? Oh, Reliable, how you doing? Share the video out, everybody. Jackie, thank you for coming over. Everybody that's here, I appreciate you. Naps, come over. Nap TV says Judge Joe Brown is dumb chasing. Yeah, I don't look. Judge Joe Brown is on social media trying to stay relevant, because if you notice, Naps, prior to his TV show being canceled or him quitting it, I don't know, whichever one happened, you didn't see Joe Brown over in social media. He wasn't on YouTube channels when he had that damn show on TV. But the minute they got rid of that, they got rid of the Judge Joe Brown show, I think that he spends time and he enjoys spending time on social media because it's the way to keep himself relevant within the culture. Because other than that, nobody was checking for Joe Brown. Nobody was checking for him. And the last time I checked, I thought Joe Brown was running for mayor of Memphis. So I guess that didn't work out. Because if you're the mayor of Memphis, how do you have time to be on these podcasts? He's just trying to stay relevant. He's sitting up here talking about, well, they didn't search this house. Doesn't matter. The man did crimes, and I'm laying out all of his crimes before you today. In May 24th, he was also accused in a lawsuit filed in New York on Thursday of sexual assault over 4 terrific sexual encounters between 1995, 2001, including 3 incidents of R and 1 incident of Combs forcing her to take ecstasy. This young lady name was April Lampros, I think was her name. April was her name. She filed a lawsuit against him. May. Why does he have all these people filing lawsuits against him? And it's always of a sexual nature. In May 29th, federal investigators may bring Combs' accusers to testify before a grand jury. That's why they brought this case against him and indicted him, y'all. Soon, and most plaintiffs who have filed lawsuits against the rapper, or Combs, because he ain't no real rapper, he have already been interviewed by investigators. Sources told CNN a move that could indicate prosecutors are looking to charge somebody, though no charges have been filed yet. Well, y'all. Everything has changed, y'all. Everything has changed. Let's get back to Reggie White, or Wright. Let's get back to him.
It's Reggie motherfucking Wright. They coming. They talk about the secret tapes and the secret cameras and all of that. Too much. Too much for the police, for a law enforcement.
The reason why you're hearing this squealing sound, I think on this video, he must have had something going on with his health, something going on with his, in his throat area. So that's why you're hearing all that wheezing sound.
Official to convince a DA and a judge to issue a warrant to at least go for a fishing expedition, to go hunting, to go looking for something. Hopefully, Diddy is smart enough to call up his good friend Russell and say, hey, Russell, I got these tapes, because it's one thing about
Look at Russell
and murderers
right there.
and stuff like that. They do not like getting rid of the evidence.
Didn't I just say that these guys, this is their weakness, that they like to keep tropes, things that remind them of what they did in their past. And I think this has backfired on P Diddy because of the fact that he did what he did. It's backfired on him. And he's talking about Russell Simmons. Here's Russell Simmons at one of his parties to the far left.
Hold on to that shit like crazy. How many times y'all heard somebody get like, damn, how the fuck that nigga still got the gun? That gun would have been in the ocean, here, there, How they hold it? Because they hold on to their tapes. That's why they do it. So they need it. And law enforcement know this. That boy better start kicking that ass.
So right here, this is April 1st, 2024. Reggie Wright in his continued predictions.
Habit. Because he gonna have it bad in church. Y'all thought Suge Knight was passing out and shit in the courtroom. Man, when they go, if he hooked on drugs like that, that nigga gonna be in there throwing up. He gonna be like.
So what is Reggie Wright saying here, y'all? He's saying that if P Diddy has a serious drug problem, that he's going to be passing out like Suge Knight was passing out when he was in his court case, that he's going to be throwing up, he's going to be struggling because he can't get his fix. However, Reggie Wright, come on, brother. You know that in prison, guys can still get their hands on dope. They can get it from other inmates. They can get it from staff that work there. But if they're watching him under secured examination and they've got people there that are not corrupt, you're right. P. Diddy could struggle if he can't get his fix.
Going through withdrawals, he ain't gonna be able to go to court And that's going to be a sad, sad
Thank you,
day.
everybody
So if I
in
can
the chat
tell you
room. Thank
anything,
you.
Diddy, man, you
Thank you, everybody that's watching in the chat room today. Make sure you share the video, too. I appreciate you.
going to prison if you don't off yourself or go to, go over there with your boy Russell. So, or a country that is like Russell that doesn't extradite. But so you going to prison. So dog, before worrying about all of this stuff, you better kick that habit. It's gonna be more.
Okay, this is April 28th, 24, and his prediction.
Diddy, stay tuned. I still got 3 months left on my 4-month prediction. And they coming. They coming. I don't know what for, but they coming. Trust me. Trust me. When they went and did the search warrants.
Here you have June 3rd, 2024. This is after they did the, let's go ahead and hear what he had to say.
Grand jury was assembled, and then they got indicted, right? I compared the Keefe D situation, did a search warrant, do a grand jury, indictment coming. I told y'all, 4 months ago when all this broke? It wasn't 4 months ago. But I said 4 months ago, 4 months there will be an arrest done by Mr. Combs. I told y'all the reason why I said 4 months, because of all the things that had to happen. The search warrant, which happened right after I said it was.
All these things happened, Reggie White, as well as Glenn Deal. They both have been on top of it. And let me just give you just a small taste of the, I think the state attorney and what he had to say. Just a small, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just a small taste of where we are. I'm going in order here, and here we go.
Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines.
You hear what he's saying? You can't move people. I don't care if you know them, you're in a relationship with that person. You can't move people over state lines and do transactions where you're engaging and giving them to somebody so that that person can have sex with them. You can't dope somebody, put something in their drinks, lower their inhibitions, and then travel them somewhere else to give them to someone against their consent. This is what this man was doing. I don't want to hear anybody on these YouTube streets talking about he an innocent man.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
Right. He controlled them with the drugs. He controlled them with the violence. He controlled them with putting the having cameras there. So when you're like you're drugging people, you're femming them, you're doing all these things against one's will. You're hiring prostitution. Last time I checked, we know that prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. But the last time I checked, prostitution is still illegal. So the idea of hiring prostitutes, sex workers, that's illegal.
And he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
Days at a
involved
time.
Multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine.
And you mix ketamine, you mix the drugs in, drugs that are illegal. So that's another violation of the law. Now he's bringing in drugs that are illegal. Y'all sitting up here like Umar Johnson talking about the man is only being, Ooh, wait till I get to that video. Umar Johnson is dumb. A man supposed to be...
ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB.
This man is using ecstasy on people, ketamine on people. Everything that the attorney is naming is illegal. You can't give this stuff to people either against their will, and you can't even sell it to them or give it to them because it's an illegal drug.
And he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB.
All
which
illegal.
Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
You hear that? So now you give the drugs to them so that they're obedient, compliant, and will do what you want them to do. That's what sex traffickers do. That's what psychopaths do. That's what weirdos do. That's what Sean Combs, Diddy Combs is. And I don't want to hear any different. He's sick. He's a sick individual. And the people that are running around on social media making excuses for him, you're just as sick. You're just as sick as well. Nobody should be caping for this guy whatsoever. Again, I'm going to repeat. All of the people that Sean Combs has been harming over the years, particularly he has harmed mainly black people. Those have been his main victims of his terror. And September 16th, Combs is arrested in Manhattan after being indicted by a grand jury. September 17th, a federal court in Manhattan unseals the charges against Combs for racketeering. People kept saying, well, wait a minute. How are they going to charge him when they sealed the charges? You can unseal charges, fools, when you have more evidence to back up your case. Sometimes cases get sealed because there's not yet enough information and evidence to go forward with the case. But if someone comes forward with compelling evidence, such as video transmissions, witnesses and various people like that, testimony for people that were at the parties, evidence that they were able to find in his mansions, then it can become unsealed. That's the damn law. People are talking about things and don't even know the law, like Umar Johnson's dumbass, which I'm going to play his video in a minute. Against Combs for racketeering, sex trafficking, transportation, to engage in prostitution. It doesn't matter if prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. It doesn't matter if you believe that prostitution should be legal. It's not legal in New York, and it's not legal, technically, it has not been upheld by the federal government as legal. So therefore, he engaged in illegal activities when bringing prostitutes into the equation of his sick illicit parties, alleging that he abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, because it also came out in the wash that P Diddy, every time he would have these parties at these hotels, and I got a video to show you this, he would pay off the hotels. He would pay them money for the damage that was done in the room, and he would pay them off, just like he tried to pay off the hotel in Century, California, LA, from us not seeing that video in 2016 of him beating and dragging Cassie. Do y'all understand what I'm saying here? The man is guilty as sin. And I don't know how anybody in their right mind would defend this monster. Let me play just a little bit of this. I'm going to go to the next video.
As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair.
Like Cassie.
On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee.
That's Cassie.
As alleged.
Let's stop it right there. We know that story. Now, let's go to another video. Change the studios here. And I appreciate everybody that's here today. Let me show you something. This is the kind of monster that people should not be defending at all. Listen to Umar Johnson's dumbass. This man is supposed to be a psychologist, claims to be a school psychologist, but he's never worked at any. He's been no principal of no school for kids ever in terms of being a principal of a school. The man has been grifting off of black people for years. It's been 14, damn near 15 years now and still no school. Can't stop talking about women in terms of their sexual organs. And let's listen to the dummy talk right now. Nobody should be supporting an Umar Goofy Johnson. Listen to this dummy.
Sean Puffy Combs' federal charges have little, if anything, to do with domestic abuse or pedophilia.
You are a dummy. In the indictment, they talk about him soliciting underage people that were there, people like Little Rod, Cassie. People have put these information out. The feds have the details. They probably got the damn videotapes, fool. And
his major sex crime federally is he's being accused of transporting women across state lines.
And you can't do that for sex soliciting. You can't do that, dummy. This man's supposed to be a psychologist.
To engage in sex. What we call prostitution. Not Casey, not the freak off.
You are a dummy. They are looking at the freak offs. It's not against Casey, you dummy, because her case was a state case in which she settled for $30 million. But the feds can still come in and look at the state case, and if they see other suspicious things that are prosecutable at the federal level, such as the trafficking, the drugs, the weapons that they found in his house. And in New York, you dummy, you can't have semi-automatic weapons. They have high gun laws in New York. You pay a price for it when you get caught. So they got him on that. But this dummy Umar Johnson want to tell you they didn't get him against Cassie. You're dumb. She's already settled her case with him. But the feds can come in. That was a state case, dummy. The feds go after bigger stuff. The drugs, the sex trafficking.
Not underage girls.
Did not just read to you all that in the indictments, there is talk about some of the females there in these sex parties. Some of them were underage. Umar Johnson's supposed to be a psychologist. Don't you supposed to know how to read? It's obvious that he didn't look at the indictment, y'all. And look at that raggedy building behind him. Instead of him setting up here talking about the P Diddy case, shouldn't you be getting that raggedy ass school open? Oh, wait a minute. It's not even a school. It's abandoned buildings, abandos.
Prostitution. Why am I bringing this up? Because I don't support prostitution either. I do not support.
So if you don't support prostitution, Umar, why do you have a problem with them filing that part of it against him? If you have a problem with it, then you know it's wrong, dummy.
Men paying for the sugar box. I do not support black women having to sexually exploit their sugar box in order to pay their bills.
Okay, so if you know that, Umar, why are you defending Puffy Combs? Why are you defending this man? A man who, by all accounts, Umar, you don't like people that's into the alternative lifestyle. By all accounts, people have said that this man's been touching women, obviously. He's been touching men, allegedly. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willis?
With that being said, prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth.
Stop it right there. See what Umar Johnson is doing here? He's trying to put the onus on women by saying that prostitution is the oldest female business. Prostitution was ran and regulated and controlled by men. It never was under the control of women from the very beginning. It was always under the control of men who were pimping the women. Yeah, you've got women that are escorts today. You've got women that are on OnlyFans today. They've got way more control over what they do with their bodies today. But from the very beginning of prostitution, it was always a profession that, yes, women were the commodity, but it was always men profiting and having these brothels that, for the most part, most of the time, were ran and operated and controlled by men.
Prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth.
Okay, man.
Prostitution is the oldest female business
We heard
on
you.
the planet Earth.
He repeats like a parrot, y'all. He repeats like a parrot.
It is the sexual trafficking that Sean Puffy Combs is being accused of.
No. He's being accused. No, he's been indicted. That means that it's way past of being accused. It's not alleged anymore. That's why he's not out of prison, dummy. That's why he's still in a prison cell, in a locked, secure unit, because they don't trust him to be out of prison. They don't trust him because they feel he has the ability to influence the witnesses and do some things outside of the prison. And maybe he's a flight risk, although they said he gave his passport to the courts a long time ago. This is not about him being accused. It's past being accused, Umar. He's been indicted, meaning they've got the evidence. That meaning that they got enough evidence to bring him to court. They're indicting him. They're charging him. Being accused and being charged and indicted and being in prison where you can't get any bail, he has been turned down for bail not once but twice, and I think the lawyers are fighting for a third chance to get bail. Umar Johnson is dumb.
Not domestic abuse, not freak-offs, not stomping out Cassie.
He's not getting charged for Cassie because she already settled that case. They are looking at all the other things that he was doing that involved Cassie, but involved mainly other people. How does this guy have anybody that follows him? And y'all give him money. Y'all send him this dude cash apps. He's dumb.
Not engaging in sex with underage women. It is interstate.
He's dumb. In the indictment, there are people who have made testimony about underage. This man is not intelligent. Where was I? I read it today. Grand jury soon. Most plaintiffs who have filed lawsuits against him. He coerced women and others around him for his sexual desires. Where would I was reading where there was some underage here. A woman named, let me see, I did that already. Event new. There was a statement that I read about underage. It's in the damn indictment. That there were people who testified to the grand jury that there were also underage individuals at some of these parties. Give me a minute here. I'm trying to find where I was reading about that. I think it was Little Rod. It was Little Rod who said that they were underage as well. So Umar Johnson, I tell you, man, let me hit this up.
Sexual trafficking. That is the charge. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up, peace God, because when I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence of Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, I have yet to hear.
Everybody, haven't you heard them tell you what he's being charged with? This man is dumb. Umar Johnson is an idiot. He must have wax in his ears. Everybody's been talking about this in the news and telling you a breakdown of what the charges are.
Anybody give me a specific piece of interstate sex trafficking evidence against Sean Puffy Combs? I'ma say it again. I'ma say it for the low political IQ Negroes. I'ma say it for the average political.
Shut up, Umar. You are the one that's low IQ. You are the very thing that you're accusing other people of being.
IQ Negroes, and I'ma say it for the high IQ Negroes. I haven't seen or heard a single piece of evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I ain't read it in the New York Times. I ain't read it in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I ain't heard it on CNN. I ain't seen it on headline news. Where is the evidence that Sean Puffy Combs engaged in interstate sex?
They've already explained to you what he has done. And because this man is not very smart, he can talk good, but he's not very smart. People don't seem to understand that the feds operate different from the state. What's going to happen is when he goes to trial, all the stuff that we don't know about yet that they have, why would they tell you every goddamn thing right away? The only people that's going to see all the evidence is going to be Puffy Combs' lawyers. Once the state goes to trial against Puffy Combs, they're going to introduce more evidence that we're going to hear about as the trial goes along. There's still more things that they've got that we don't know about. But Umar Johnson, the so-called greatest psychologist, as he claims, in the world, doesn't have enough critical thinking skills to know how the system works.
Trafficking. I keep hearing about Cassie when I turn on the news. Why are we hearing?
Because they have built their case, Umar, off of Cassie's lawsuit. That's where the feds came in and took a look at the case and saw some things that made them say, wait a minute, there's more to this. Remember, she simply settled with him. If this had went to court between Cassie and P Diddy, if it had gone to court, a lot of shit would have came out in court. P Diddy was trying to keep it from coming out in a state court, but the feds, they don't have to operate like that. Doesn't matter if you settle with someone. If they see something suspicious, they can look into it and they can dig into it and boom. But Umar is dumb.
About Cassie when Cassie has nothing to do with the federal indictment. I don't think any black man should have 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Okay.
I don't think any black man needs 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But I haven't seen anywhere in federal law where owning 1,000 bottles of baby oil is a federal crime.
This man is dumb. He's not being charged with having bottle baby oil or lubricants. It simply shows that he was using these items because no human being has those many items of lubricant. It simply is evidence of the things that people have been accusing him of over these years. People who have tried to file suits against him, Umar. They're not putting him, he's not in prison, in a jail cell right now, in a secured unit over how much body oil he's purchase. It simply shows you that people who have said that this is what he's got going on, it simply shows you that there's some truth to what people have said. That's not why he's in a prison cell right now. It's for the trafficking. It's for the mistreatment of people, drugs that he has brought into his parties, illegal drugs. Umar Johnson is dumb.
Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Brothers and sisters, are you with me so
You're
far?
dumb. You're dumb. I'm not with you.
Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world
No,
is?
you're not the most request scholar in the world. You're dumb. You're dumb. You don't have an office. You don't even have your own place to live. You live in your mama's closet. You have no faculty. You have no students. That so-called building behind you is a complete mess and cannot be licensed to be operated. You've been grifting off of black people for over a decade now.
Is saying right now. Do you understand and overstand and understand what the most requested black scholar
Thank
in
you,
the world
everybody,
is
for
saying
coming
right
in
now?
the chat room.
Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the premier Pan-Africanist on the planet is saying to you right now?
No. Umar Johnson is dumb, doesn't understand law, right? Let me let you hear from someone who is a lawyer, used to be on the People's Court, has his own platform, the TMZ. He's a lawyer. Let's listen to him break down what the charges are, because Umar has wax in his ear. And anybody else out there talking the same goofy talk as Umar Johnson, here we go.
Has now come down against Sean Diddy Combs. And there is absolutely no doubt prosecutors have thrown the book at him. Among other things, he has been charged with racketeering, kidnapping, and sex trafficking. This is all based on a grand jury indictment where prosecutors went to the grand jury over a period of months. Now, there is a long list here. He's charged with prostitution.
Coercion, meaning making people do things against their will.
Enticing to engage in prostitution.
Enticing people to engage in prostitution. Umar Johnson, you're a dummy.
Narcotics offenses.
Bringing in narcotics, which are illegal under our laws. He is a dummy, Umar. Kidnapping, when you're taking someone into another state or another place against their will, without their knowledge of where they're going or consent.
Arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice.
Bribery, obstruction of justice, by trying to convince people not to tell the press what he's been doing, or the police, just like he did when he paid for that video of him beating Cassie. You can't do that. That's illegal. That's bribery.
The complaint, the indictment, mentions the now notorious freak-off parties, calling them, and this is the words from the indictment, elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. It talks about luring women, Combs luring women into his orbit under the pretense of a romantic relationship.
So he would lure women, make them think that they were going to be in a relationship with him, even tell women, I'm going to make you a star, in order to entice them into other things that he wanted. He talked about that Sean Combs was masturbating during these period of time. He was getting involved in the freak-offs pretty heavily. What in the... I want to know, what in the world is Umar Johnson talking about? What articles is he reading that says that he's being charged for baby oil and baby oil only? The man is absolutely a fool.
And then using force, threats of force, and coercion to cause these victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial
sex worker.
So if you hire male sex workers and force people to have sex with them, you can't do that. That's illegal. What is Umar Johnson talking about?
There is more. After these freak-offs, the indictment says that Combs and the victims actually received IV fluids to recover from what they call physical exertion and drug use. As for the kidnapping allegations, unclear what they are. They just reference them, as do arson and several other crimes.
So they're talking about kidnapping. They're going to have to, I guess when they go to court, they'll bring the evidence. The arson, I'm not sure about that either. But for the feds to have that in the indictment, that tells me that they've got some evidence. I'm going to say it again. The feds are not the local police. They're not the state police. When they do an investigation, they take their time and they don't bring a case against you unless their shit is tight. P Diddy is finished, y'all. And he has no one to blame but himself. And most of the people that he victimized were black people, women and men. Y'all need to deal with that. That's who he is. He's a monster. He's been a monster for a long time.
But they say they were committed in California. Now, as for drug use, the indictment says there was an intent to distribute narcotics, which include cocaine, oxycodone, Xanax, GHB, which is the date rape.
All drugs are illegal.
Drug, MDMA, and ketamine. It goes on to say that during the raids of his homes in Beverly Hills and Miami, they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, suggesting this was part of the freak-offs. They also found 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers and drum magazines.
You cannot have weapons of that nature in the state of New York. That's seriously a felony. They got harsh gun laws, so he's already broke the law by doing that. And Umar sitting up here talking about he hasn't heard anything, any charges against this man or indictments. What the hell is he talking about?
There is also a clear reference to the Cassie video, the video where Diddy brutalized Cassie at the Century City Hotel. They talk about assaulting a woman by striking, punching, dragging her in March of 2016, clearly Cassie. And they say that after the indictments in 2023, Diddy tried to pressure witnesses not to cooperate with authorities. If he is convicted, he faces decades behind bars. His lawyer says that Diddy is not only not guilty, he is innocent.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Everybody, this is crazy. Don't y'all think this is crazy? Don't y'all think this is crazy what this man has been engaging in for a long time? This is crazy. Check this out. You heard what he said about the indictments. Let me give you some more added clarification to what's going on here. Check this out. I want y'all to see this. Check this out.
Freak off parties, as he's termed.
Let's go back into here. And here we go, everybody. Thank you.
Freak off parties, as he's termed them. While the details may vary case by case, we know from a swath of testimonies that Diddy was not unfamiliar with hosting hedonistic, drug-induced parties complete with female and male sex workers wearing masquerade masks. These would often take place at some of the most extravagant hotels in the country, as reported by Miami Herald journalist Julie K. Brown. Back in March, Brown described these freak-offs as sex parties so brutal that the young women and men lured into attending them would often vomit and pass out from being drugged, beaten, and raped, sometimes for hours on end.
What did Cassie tell you about these freak-offs?
You know, that he would hire these like sex workers, and like they would have, you know, sex with her or whatever, and he would watch and tell them what to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Umar tells us he doesn't know or has not heard of any direct evidence against P. Diddy. If you notice, Umar Johnson has a pattern of defending people. Even when R. Kelly got into his trouble, he was defending R. Kelly as well.
When Diddy's longtime girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed her lawsuit back in November, she opened up about Diddy's constant need to have these freak-offs, or FOs, every week. He would decide on having one at random moments, according to the lawsuit, expecting Cassie to find the location and hire the sex workers herself. The lawsuit even goes on to name the exact hotels where these FOs would occur, with the hotels occasionally charging Diddy thousands of dollars in damages afterwards.
This is crazy. Let me put this up here for you guys to see right here. Jailed hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs alleged freak-off parties stunned one drug dealer after he saw household name celebrities. Check this out. It stunned him. There was a drug dealer that came to the house to one of Sean Diddy Combs' parties, allegedly, who said he was stunned to witness and see a household name celebrities having sex with each other. This is alleged. The dealer said that Diddy, this is a drug dealer who said this was put out there in the, I think this is from the New Yorker, the New York, their press out there, and the dealer said that Diddy opened the door to his former Hampton mansion in nothing but a rob and brought him through to the back bedroom to make the cocaine deal. This is alleged. The drug dealer goes on to say that weird shit was starting to happen. This is a drug dealer. And even a drug dealer is feeling uncomfortable. He says that weird shit started to happen and celebrity guys were effing each other. There were back bedrooms, and it was like the inner sanctum. This is crazy, y'all. Even Usher, at 13 years old, gave us a clue. Remember that video by Usher? When he went on the Howard Stern show? Check it out.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No.
Now you've got Howard Stern saying out of his own mouth that Puffy place was filled with orgies and just sex all, because Howard Stern's probably been to some of these damn freak-offs himself.
Not really.
Allegedly.
I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody
it was
tried to, you know, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
He didn't say that. You see? So that means there were older women there trying to come on to a 13-year-old boy, in this case, Usher. And all this was put together and elicited by, allegedly, it would have to be, it was they're talking about a Puffy Combs party, and that he was living with Puffy Combs in something called Flavor Camp, and he saw some interesting things, allegedly.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people.
And you all know that it has come out in the wash that Biggie Smalls was doing a video with who people believe was a transsexual. that people believe are now coming out and saying that it was actually a transsexual that was playing the female that was in the video playing Biggie Smalls' love interest. And you have people like Choke No Joker, who came out and said that even back then in the 90s, they were trying to push a certain agenda on what you would call quote unquote straight guys. This is alleged. That came out on the comedy Hype. I think the Art of Dialogue, they talked about it on there, about that individual in the video who played Biggie Smalls' love. I'm not saying that Biggie Smalls is gay or anything. I'm just saying that it came out in the wash that might have been a transgender. What I'm saying is this is Holly weird. And they do weird things in Holly weird. And just like they're doing weird stuff in the LA area, they're doing weird shit in the New York area too now. Okay? Let's not deny that reality. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in these towns, in these places, y'all.
People are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They ain't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
Did you hear about that? Usher says that the parents didn't know anything about this. I'm about to bust that bubble. You'll see in a moment with this video that I'm going to show you in a moment.
He's having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Uh-huh.
I had like, you know,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Now, these folks on this show with Usher, Howard Stern, who's a racist. We've seen Howard Stern say some racist shit, and the black woman on there that laughs and jackals all the time for him. I think everything about this was inappropriate. The fact that while he's telling them these things, they're feeling entertained by it. They're laughing, they're giggling. All this stuff was inappropriate. Period.
18 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
You hear it? Let's hear it again.
18 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
Tell the truth.
He said, hell no. That he would not send his child to a Puffy camp. So that tells you everything you need to know about this nonsense that P Diddy's got going on. Now let you see something else related to Usher. Kevin Hart, who I witnessed, and I saw a video this morning, and I should have clipped it for this segment, of Kevin Hart at the clip that I'm going to show you is the same party that he was at, but I didn't get that part of the clip. But there was a woman in a tub behind him. There was candles, and her hair got caught on fire. And Kevin Hart, Mr. Comedy Man, was laughing at this black woman with her hair caught on fire because they had candles around the tub, so they were trying to chill, right? And he was laughing, making jokes about it. This is Kevin Hart. This is why I don't like Kevin Hart anyway. I don't think he's that funny. But that part I didn't get, but this part I did get. And check this out. Y'all remember, I did this on my other channel. Y'all probably remember this video. Check this out right here.
The premier Pan-African.
That, the goofy man. I didn't want the goofy man on there. I wanted this.
Yeah, we want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed.
I want to thank everybody that's here. We got Lisa says, what? I'm from LA. I was born in Hollywood. Not all of us are weird. Now, Lisa says, what? When I say that, I'm not talking about the everyday regular black folks in Los Angeles. You have to understand the metaphor of that. We're talking about the weirdos in Hollywood in this entertainment industry. That doesn't mean it's everybody that's an entertainer, but I'm saying Hollyweird has some weird people in that entertainment industry. I'm not talking about the average, everyday black folk that's working, and we talking about the weirdos that's in the entertainment industry in Los Angeles. Who are the weirdos? The people that Cat Williams has warned us about because he's been at these Hollywood parties, or he has attended one or two and saw some weird stuff that he wasn't with. That's what I'm talking about. Not the everyday working. No. We're talking about the weirdos. Because there are weirdos in that entertainment town called Los Angeles. That's what I'm talking about. Just wanted to clarify it for you, sister. Appreciate you coming over. Appreciate everybody in the chat room. Peggy Roster, Queen, I Know I Am. Everybody that's here, thank you. And let's continue.
Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, just let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Fresh
off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and damn pause, but like that's.
You see how he paused? He said, we used to wake up. How was y'all waking up?
I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little.
Why is a grown man around a 10-year-old?
Bit older, his older brother. Yeah,
you see what I'm saying, y'all? This is crazy. Now, I got a footage from his mom that I think is very disturbing because his mother didn't know anything about P. Diddy, but yet gave her son to this man. It appears because it's all about let's become a star. Check this out. This one, to me, unbelievable right here. Check this out.
Usher went to stay with Puffy. Now, that was a business decision right there because I didn't know Puffy. I didn't know. Usher went to stay with Puffy. Now, that was a business decision right there because I didn't know Puffy. I didn't know Usher.
Why would you give your child to a man that you, A, don't know? And the mother made it very clear that it was a business decision. It wasn't a decision of common sense, meaning why would I put my 10-year-old son, 13-year-old son around this grown man and I'm not there? Why wasn't she not there? Why wasn't Usher's family not living there with him to make sure everything goes smooth? Why?
Went to stay with Puffy. Now, that was a business decision right there because I didn't know Puffy. I didn't know. Usher went to stay with Puffy.
I just had to break it down. And let's hear Little Rod again. This is why he's in this mess, y'all, at the end of the day. Here goes Little Rod.
Took a year off straight working on this album. That album is the Love album, Off the Grid by Diddy. I've tried to get my business straight with them on this album, but the truth is they're not playing fair. They hit me on below the belt. The contract that they give me and the offer that they gave me was just disgusting. The producer fee, pennies. And on top of that, these guys are trying to steal my publishing. I can't go for that. So I'm fighting back.
You see? Puffy Combs, Sean Diddy Combs, whatever the hell we call him, he continues to harm black people. That's who he's mainly being a predator. He's predatorial towards his own damn people. Check this out when he was on the Wendy Williams show talking about Cassie, who he was beating like a dog, claiming that he cares about her, that he loves about her, but he does this sort of stuff to her. Check this out, y'all. Check it out.
Do like to party, okay?
He do like to party, y'all. He does like to party. Let's get to it. I want y'all to hear this one. Let's put it up there.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Stop it there. Go back from the beginning.
Like to party, okay?
Likes to party.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm shocked that you and Cassie have gone this far, like the distance. What is it about her that, you know?
I mean, it's just like when a record comes on, the way she moves.
Yeah.
Like when I look at her, the way she smiles. The way I see her look at me sometimes when I wake up and she's already awake, you know?
And the Met Gala, what the sitting on the steps was going on? What is going on here?
Now, I'm gonna be honest, like, they didn't have my tickets right the year before, so I said I'm gonna stun on them and sit on the stairs as my woman looks good and takes those pictures.
His woman that he beats on. What a piece of work. Now, Glenn Deal, as I said earlier in the show, in the program, everybody, made a prediction way back when, and here is his thoughts about his prediction as he hears about them finally arresting him, which he predicted that it would happen in September because of the way the feds work. And let's hear this.
People will tell you, or people knew that it was just a matter of time that they was going to indict him and bring him in to see the judge, bro. It was just a matter of time. I just figured out with the grand jury and their different sessions and stuff like that, and then what one of the witnesses told me, I just figured it out that it was going to be around September that they were going to bring him in, bro. People might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business.
Stop. The people that he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is Clyde Davis, Andre Farrell, and Russell Simmons, who you see right here on this picture with Al Sharpton, LL Cool J. They go Russell Simmons to the far left. That's the other guy right there is the boxer. I forgot that brother's name, but he was a heavyweight champion. Lennox Lewis. Yeah, Lennox Lewis that's Lennox Lewis. And he learned from the Clyde Davises of the world because this is how these guys allegedly may have gotten down.
You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You got to have principles, you got to have morals, you got to keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him.
Do you agree, everybody, with Glenn Deal, with Brother Deals, that he is a byproduct of the people who taught him the music business that were grubby themselves, that it's learned behavior? He wasn't born technically to be this way, but it's learned behavior over time when you've been exposed to an environment where you got the very people that you look up to teaching you the ropes, and you're watching what they're doing, that they're having a wild party, that they're manipulating people, what have you. Is Puffy Combs a byproduct of that? That's a sketch of him in prison when he had to show up. I think Combs pled not guilty to sex trafficking charges when he showed up to court. So he's pled not guilty to this. But there you see him right there in the sketches and what have you. Let's continue.
To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You got to know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bruh. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned. That's a learned behavior, bruh. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women, stuff like that in New York, but the things that they're talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man.
Do you agree with Glendale that it's all learned behavior? That he is a byproduct of his environment or a byproduct of those that he looked up to and mentored him? Clyde Davis is a shady individual. I've heard some things about him. We know Russell Simmons took his little butt over there to Bowie. And Andre Farrell, there's been some rumbles about him too. These are the guys that mentored P. Diddy. Although a man must be responsible for his own actions. Okay? You must be responsible and you must stand up and admit your wrongdoing when it's your own actions. Let's continue to the next statement by Glendale here. Powerful stuff.
Some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You got to realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's going to make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he's saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that.
What y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? This is crazy. The touchy-feely between, there go P. Diddy right there. Interesting stuff by Glendale.
Stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom. In his bed.
Wait a minute, Glendale. Woo. This one really blows me away. There go Russell Simmons, who's out there in Bowie. He ran his butt over there. And he likes to get on Instagram and act like he's a yoga man. And Glendale said that he went over to his house one day. This is what we mean when we say these people in entertainment, some of these people that we have in entertainment that are great singers, musicians, and producers, some of them are weirdos, okay? Some of these people that you want an autograph of, you want a picture with them, you want to shake their hand, you want to meet them in person. Some of these folks are really straight up weirdos. He said he went to Russell Simmons' house and he had some dude in his bedroom with some bikini pants on. Unbelievable, huh?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Wow, y'all. Wow. Let's continue. Golly.
When me and my man went up to Russell Simmons, and he had a house, and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom.
Oh my God.
In his bed. You understand? Bruh,
He said
this is
bikini drawers.
that he learned.
He said, my man with bikini drawers. Oh, man. This is crazy, y'all. He said a man with bikini drawers. Oh, my God. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me. Slick was with me. And we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro.
Tell the truth.
What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bro. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies.
Do you agree with Glenn Deal that this will be the greatest tragedy? They said that the prison that he's in, or the jail that he's in, has no pillows. Notorious for poor living conditions, and I'm going to get to that, but do you agree with what Glenn Deal is saying, that this may be the greatest American tragedy? Or one of them, should I say?
That Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip-hop.
Of hip-hop.
Along with Pac's death. Along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself.
Let's hit that again. That's the key thing that he said there, that he brought this on himself. I don't want to hear these conspiracy theories and all this nonsense. He did this to himself. Let's hear from Corey Holcomb of the 5150 podcast. Now, he at one point in time sort of was having P Diddy's back a long time ago, but now he has come out and he's found Jesus. And Corey Holcomb, because in one of his past shows, he had spoke out about how, hey, maybe this man's being railroaded, right? But now Corey Holcomb has come to Jesus, and I said it before, and he's speaking truth here. And this needs to be heard from everybody and all the people out there that's making excuses for one P Diddy. Here we go.
The brother used his power and influence against the black community. That's the truth. I didn't see him beating up on white bitches. I didn't see him beating up on Caucasian women.
You see that? You did not see him. Yeah, most of his victims were black people.
I didn't hear about him getting Caucasian men dealt with.
Right.
He used his power against the people in his community. And time has added up where our conglomerates, especially in the music industry, are going to fall. Homie from Chicago told me about 2 years ago, they finna put Puffy in jail. My homie, Diamond.
So you see Corey Holcomb, he's from Chicago. said that he had someone that gave a prediction as well that they're going to put him in jail for his deeds, his nasty deeds.
Drake. I don't know what inside he knew. This was before any of it jumped off. He said, "Oh, they finna put him in jail." I had no reason to doubt the homie, Diamond Drake, because Diamond Drake, he got a lot of knowledge. I'm not here to rub it in, but I'm saying you was a terror to us.
Right, black people. Right,
the
black
women,
people.
And the men.
Right.
I don't know if this is true about the baby oil. Was that real?
It was both. When they raided the LA house with all the cameras and stuff, you gotta read the. I did.
It was a slippery slope like that.
I read the 14-page report that's available right now for everyone to see, and that was one of the things.
Now, why is it that Umar Johnson kept saying that he hasn't seen any details, yet there's already the pages and documents, and you can read the damn indictment online. You can print it out.
Things that they pulled out. They said that there was a collection of both lube and baby oil in the amount of like 1,000.
Sometimes you need lube.
I kept saying 140. No, it was 1,000 bottles of lube. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, y'all.
I'm trying to make excuses for him. Yo.
And he didn't turn himself. He was arrested. Yeah, they went and got him.
Oh, they went and got him at the crib or something?
I thought it was a hotel. Yeah, it was a hotel. I forgot the name of it.
A hotel?
Very well known one in New York. Yeah. He shouldn't have went to New York, period. But anyway, oh well.
I wonder if they going. I wonder if Puffy.
Let me stop it right there. P Diddy went to New York because he already knew that the feds were going to bring him into custody. That's why he came there. He knew it was coming. That's why he was hanging out at the park in New York, trying to take in maybe his last chance of enjoying time out in the sun in Central, in New York Central. As you see there.
Be like, this ain't what you want. I got video on almost everybody.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen. That is what's happening. What do you mean, I think? That is what's happening. I mean, word on the street, as we know it, has been that he's got video on quite a few people.
I know he got video.
Stayed for
all
those
the people who act like
who was it?
Corey think everybody gay. Remember, I've heard this.
Yeah.
I believe that a lot is about to be exposed because that man wasn't just some regular dude doing regular shit. That man got a video collection. And I know he got a video collection that the names are just gonna get sprinkled out, sprinkled out, sprinkled out. I know it. It's not the end. The arrest of the brother Puffy.
How many of you out there believe that there are going to be significant names of celebrities who are going to be exposed? Their names are going to get leaked. And maybe there's people who believe that P. Diddy may be able to do a plea deal. And I just wonder if he does a plea deal, if there's some very important people in government, in civil government, in entertainment industry that bring a lot of money forth to the economy, they might not want to name these people. And could P. Diddy get a plea bargain deal where he'll have to do some time with a chance of him being able to still parole out after he does a certain amount of years? while at the same time keeping things sealed on who are those people on the video? Or is it all going to just blow up in everyone's face? And are they going to subpoena those people on the video, bring them to court, celebrities or not, whoever they are? These are questions that people are wondering about, because we know that when it's famous people, they have a way of making shit disappear, meaning where you don't get to know, well, who were the famous people? We know who has gone to his parties here and there, but to have evidence where they're caught on video, that's a got you moment.
Tell the truth.
This has layers.
Yes,
and
it
it's
does.
going to validate Corey Holcomb, because I told y'all Hollywood is a man-on-man orgy.
Right.
The music industry is a man-on-man orgy.
Right.
Tell the truth.
You'll see.
He's right.
You'll see. It's all gonna come out.
Right. Right. It's all gonna come out. Well, it's already coming out. It's already coming out, everybody. Wow. Remember I said earlier in the show, I talked about this young lady right here, Miss Reuben, who was she went out to the club and got shot by, she said that it was Puff Daddy that shot her, not Shine. Shine took the fall for 9 to 10 years. He's now a politician in his homeland. Very well-spoken brother. He was the fall guy. Here he is with P Diddy. I forgot. I thought this was Glenn Deal, because I thought it was Glenn Deal, the one that I had right here. And I made a mistake in past videos. That's not Glenn Deal. That's actually Shine, because Shine is Jewish, and he grew his hair kind of like he kind of had that Hasidic Jew look to him. And actually, that's the religion that he practices. And here he is with P Diddy right here. We're talking about Shine, who took the fall for this whole thing. And this young lady right here says, no, it was not him that did it. It was P Diddy, because I was looking straight at him. Check out what she has to say.
As I got down there walking, you could see that the club was really like packed. There were tons of people there. And so I was like, wow, it's really, crowded in here. You could kind of see who and who was in the club. So we went to the bathroom. I went right back to my spot. In no time, a bunch of people start ascending up the staircase from the dance floor and coming into what would be the corridor between where I was standing on one side and where the bar was, and a bunch of other people were standing, where Scar was standing. That walkway led to the front door. And whenever celebrities or someone notable is making their way through the club, you know how it is. They have the main people, they have the entourage, the security or whatever, the hangers on, and everybody who wants to be adjacent to them. And so that's what happened. All those people trying to be adjacent, like, oh, where they going? Let me walk where they walking. Jumped on too. So it was it swole. That little walkway swole with people. As they were ascending the stairs, Shine's song was on, it was going off, and Black Rob's song, Whoa, was coming on. So that little intro, like that instrumentation. And so people were like, it was a current song at the time. It was popping. People were feeling themselves, and they started, posturing and bravado, and everybody was hyped. As they came through with that kind of mentality, they bumped into Scar's back. Now, Scar's back was to the walkway, so he couldn't see who was coming. He was facing the bar. His back was to the walkway. As they came through, they pushed him, and his drink went in his face. So like anybody, if somebody pushes you from the back, he elbowed back, like, get off of me. When he elbowed back, they tried to push. And so it made the whole crowd start swaying. And that's when they got into this whole, like, yo, he apparently, I don't know all the details in that, but I know, I didn't know.
I find this fascinating because this happened in 1999 when he was dating J-Lo, right? And she got out of Dodge, she stopped seeing this man. There was rumor that he might have started trying to groom her, J-Lo. But I find it interesting that he never did any time for this. That she's already made a declaration willing to undergo surgery for them to take the bullet fragments out to prove that it came from the gun that Puff Daddy had.
Them firsthand at the time. I do know
Allegedly.
them now. You know, he tried to say something to him or whatever, and then they said whatever they said. And then one of the guys that was with Scar, apparently Puffy gestured in some type of way that they didn't like. And one of the guys that was with Scar slapped him in the face with a wad of money. It was like the young guys are now on, doing that little phone brick thing. Well, he had this wad of money in his hand for whatever reason, because I wasn't standing near them. I was across. But all I know is I saw when he swung and slapped and money was raining through the sky and falling to the floor. Everybody started trying to run and pick up money, and it was just craziness. It was lights, action, camera, people scurrying for money, trying to catch money out of the sky, and that melee was still taking place. Now, when I saw that, I turned around to my friend and I was like, uh-oh, shit is getting crazy in here. You see this? And never in a million years did I think it would escalate to a shooting. I thought it was male bravado. It was cold as ice outside, so I had no reason to believe it would get to that. But in no time, one thing led to another. The money was falling down. And then I see Shine. I hear the raised voices, and I see Shine and Puffy start backing back. Now, we don't all watch the Hood movie or whatever. We know what it looks like when people are backing back and reaching from their hip to pull.
Isn't this interesting as she breaks down in detail what was going on that night at that club in 1999 at the New York club? Interesting.
So as they were backing back, they were drawing from their hip. And I turned to tell my friend, like, "Ooh, girl, watch out. Oh, my God." Because there was really nowhere for me to go. Where I was standing, there was a wrought iron metal rail to my back. I couldn't go. There was a drop over that. In fact, one of my friends fell over it onto the dance
Thank you
floor
all
after
for being
everything
here,
happened.
too, everybody. I appreciate it.
There was nowhere for me to go. And so as they were going back, they were backing back, like literally walking backwards towards the door, drawing from their hip. I told my friend, I said, "Oh my God, watch out." As I turned back to look at them, I watched them bow, bow. Both of them fired, and the muzzle flash was like, psh, psh.
I want to stop it right there because this is key. She specifically said when Shine pulled his gun out, she saw both of them pull their gun out. Shine's gun was pointed at the ceiling, so he shot up. Her claim is that it was Puffy who shot straight ahead in her direction. She also says she doesn't believe that he purposely was looking to shoot her, but she says that when a bullet comes out of a gun, it doesn't care where it goes. She still said that she could look at him directly when he shot the weapon, and she took the brunt of it by getting the bullet fragments hit her, going into her nose. So she's not saying that, oh, he came to the club and got into it with someone else and specifically wanted to shoot me. I think maybe a lot of people, when they have weapons, they're not good at their aim. He might have been trying to aim for someone else, and in doing so, he hit her. But it doesn't change the fact that it's a crime that was committed. She got hurt, and he should have been charged, and he should have spent 9 to 10 years in prison, not Shine. Shine should have never spent 9 to 10 years in prison. It should have been Puff Daddy. And folks out there are making excuses for this man. This woman's telling a story that happened to her.
Shine's muzzle flash was a little higher. He was on the side closest to the bar. Puffy's muzzle flash was a little lower, and he was on the side closest to where I was, straight ahead from me. I watched them both fire their guns. I watched them. I got hit right here.
Right in the nose. She took a hit. Let me show you this again. Here is the wound of what happened to this young lady. See? There, she's not lying. That's her in the hospital. with the bandages over the nose area. Ms. Reuben, now 53 years, shown here after she was shot in the face. So she was shot in the face and the bullet fragments went into the nose. The infamous Club New York shooting in December 1999, Reuben has long insisted that Diddy shot her and got away with it. Reuben, of the 3 people hurt in the 1999 incident, wants the bullet fragments taken out of her face for ballistics evidence because she wants the case reopened. The 53-year-old told guest host Brian on News Nation. This is very interesting.
Nose in between my eyes, which means I'm facing directly at you. Just like I'm looking at you and I can tell you got on black shades. They kind of look like Cazelles and an Adidas shirt. That's exactly how I was looking at him. And I watched him shoot me. So not to digress, it always bugs me when people say, how can you be sure? The same way you're sure when your man is lying to you or when your woman is lying to you, or the same way you're sure when you ask your kids a question and they do that little thing they do when they're not being honest and you know they're telling a story. I'm that sure. We know people that we love. We know people's tells or body language or whatever. The same way you're sure that I have on a green shirt, I'm certain that he shot me. Now, was he aiming at me? Was I the object of his fire? Absolutely not. I should not have been because I didn't do anything to him. But is that what resulted? Absolutely, because I see a lot of people online get stuck on that. Oh, well, why would he shoot you? What did you do? Did you owe him money? And I'm like, class, pay attention. Bullets don't have names and they don't have predetermined destinations.
Facts.
Once they come out of the gun, they're going to go wherever they go. And that's the thing about crime and shooting people. You cannot guarantee that what you're aiming at is what you're going to hit, because you might be a thug, but it doesn't mean you have good aim.
Facts over facts over facts over facts, y'all. Let's go in here and listen to, as I said, this young lady, what happened to her was very unfortunate. There she is right there, I guess, in a press conference after this happened to her. Shine is the one that took the blunt of the blame. He got railroaded by P Diddy and spent 9 to 10 years in prison. Then he was deported back to his country of Belize, where he is now, I believe, a prime minister or a sort of a politician. I think his father at one point in time was the prime minister of Belize, and that's where he is now. He's at peace with, he said he's at peace with everything. But I want to read something real quick that he said right here. Says right here, let me see. Ex bad boy record rapper Shine says that Sean Diddy Combs destroyed my life. The mogul awaited trial. Former Bad Boy Records rapper Shine has a stern message about Sean Diddy Combs amid the mogul's legal fallout. This is someone who destroyed my life. The Belize hip-hop artist turned politician broke his silence on Combs' latest legal woes during a press conference early this week, evoking a shooting in 1990 that spoiled his relationship with the Bad Boy record company. He goes on to say this, everybody. This is someone who is, in a sense, testified against me when I was on trial. You see, P. Diddy is not a good man, y'all. Shine said during the conference, according to a clip aired Thursday by Belize radio station Love FM, I was defending him and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me. This is what Shine's saying. This is what P. Diddy did to him. Shine, a former protege of Combs, was sentenced in 2001 to 10 years in jail for an assault conviction stemming from a 1999 nightclub shooting in New York that involved Combs and his then girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez. 3 bystanders were wounded. Combs was acquitted in a widely publicized case. Shine was released in 2009 and deported to his home country of Belize. The former artist, whose career was derailed by a conviction, said during the press conference that he forgave and moved on. He acknowledged that Combs' efforts to help promote education in Belize, but distanced himself from his ex-mentor, clarified that their relationship is far from amicable. Let me let y'all hear the brother in his own words. Check this out, everybody. Check it out.
It opens wounds when you hear, the victim saying that it was Diddy that shot her. That is what is the most remarkable. Oh, you didn't see that?
I saw it.
Okay. And that was triggered by a lawsuit from a producer that produced on the Love album, who is making accusations, and in those accusations he says that the gentleman confessed to the shooting. And that is what stands out to me the most, because I've done my best to put it behind me and to move forward. But it certainly reopens the wounds that I've been saying this all along. Everyone knew all along that I was the fall guy. But my political enemies and, detractors tried to make me into, this criminal. But everyone knew that I was a young kid that took the fall. Everyone knew that. That was the story. I'm just saying that I maintained my innocence all this time. I said I was defending myself. I didn't get into who did what. But the victim telling you who did what. And another, I understand that there are other witnesses.
Is she accurate, sir?
I'm not going to get into that. But it does open wounds. And certainly I am relieved that people are saying what the truth is, that, I did not shoot those people. I maintain that I never shoot nobody, that there were other guns there. I always said that. That has not changed. And that is the testimony that came out. Fragments were never removed, so there was never any forensic testing to say who it was. But the victims are vindicating me. Witnesses are vindicating me. But I have moved on. I'm not trying to relive that. And so I am appreciative of whatever contributions Diddy has made to help the people of Belize. I wish him well. I pray for him, and I pray for the alleged victims. And if it is true, may justice be served. If it is not, it's a tragedy, because a global icon would have been destroyed.
All right. Interesting, everybody. What do you think about Shine? She said, Miss Reuben said, that he's not the one that did it, that it was P Diddy that did it, that had a bad aim, and she got shot in the face, and the bullet fragments went into the nose area. This man's responsible for a lot of things, y'all, allegedly, and that's why you just can't sit up here, make excuses for this man as if he's some innocent individual when he's been literally terrorizing black folks. Literally. Allegedly. Let me do another reminder. Racketeering is a pattern of illegal activity. For those of you out there who don't know what this stuff is, racketeering is a pattern of illegal activity that are carried out to make a profit, often through fraud, extortion, bribery, which is what he did, threats, or violence. Yes, he's done these things, allegedly. That's why they brought the charges against him. These are the indictments. These activities are often disguised as a legitimate business. So you can have a legitimate business and be doing this shit. Business deals and are typically coordinated by multiple people. The term racket is used to describe a fraudulent or illegal scheme, and racketeering is the act of running or engaging in a racket. I'm just reading this because I think there's a lot of people on these YouTube streets who do have channels and have been talking about this, and they don't really know the real definitions of what the racketeering word is because, you know, they think that this man, P Diddy, is being railroaded. No, he did this to himself. Sex trafficking, for those of you who need a proper definition, sex trafficking is the act of forcing, defrauding, coercing someone into engaging in commercial sexual acts. That's what they're trying to get him on, is because what he did. It can also include recruitment, transportation, or provision of a person for the purpose of commercial sex acts. Here are some other things to know about sex trafficking. Age. If the victim is under 18, it doesn't need to be proven that force, fraud, or coercion was used. Grooming, trafficking may use social media to groom and advertise the victims. These are just small examples that we should be aware of. Now what I want to do as we're going to get to conclusion right now, everybody. I know I've been on for quite some time. We're going to get to conclusion by going into an area that I find is powerful. This video that you're going to watch is a very powerful video from Newsmax 2. I thought the things that were said here, you're going to have a guy on here that's going to interview someone who's been in the entertainment business, who knows executives who are saying that this man, Puffy Combs, has been a threat even within the music industry for quite some time. People are very concerned about him and what he could do to them. But check this out right here. You're gonna get this is interesting.
Be even worse than what's being described, and other famous faces could also be implicated. Joining me now is founder of Yako Booyans Ministries and my good friend Yako Booyans. Yako, thank you so much for coming on the show this evening. I know we're hearing a whole lot about what these allegations are, what the charges are, and we're hearing other big names that are supposed to be all wrapped up in it. Tell us, spill the beans. Nothing's off limits, brother. What's going on? Who else is going to be implicated? Who's already implicated in the charges? Who else do you think is going to come up out of this? And do you think Sean Combs is actually going to face jail time? And do you think he's going to survive his time in prison?
Yeah, man. Great work, David. Thank you for all you do. Look, I said 10 months ago, Sean's going to be arrested. People said, no, he's going to walk. And I said, not this time. Something you have to pay attention to here is what did not happen in the Epstein case or the Maxwell case. In the indictment, the definition of sex trafficking is mentioned. That did not happen with Epstein and with Maxwell. The second I saw that in the indictment, they're mentioning force, fraud, coercion, which is the definition of human trafficking, I knew this time this guy's going to fry. He's going to. This is a sex trafficking case. The reason they did that is so no corrupt district attorney could plead this down to a misdemeanor, a drug charge, kidnapping charge, rape charge. This is a sex trafficking case. Maxwell wasn't tried in a sex trafficking case. This is very, very different, David. They're stacking up. They went slow. Remember, they raided him, and then everybody said they're going to do nothing. And I said, no, they're walking it slow because they've got the evidence. I believe this canary bird is going to sing. Here's what I believe is going to happen. The charges are mounting up on. He's going to get 30, 50, 55, 60 years is what he's looking at. I believe they're going to throw the book at him. I also believe they're going to talk to him about ceasing assets. They're going to talk to him about your children.
How many of you agree with what this man is saying, that he's going to have to give up assets? There was a report that he paid his mortgages on all his property, I guess, for the month, but there's talk that he may have to give up assets. He may have to sell off certain things because this is going to be an expensive trial for him to fight from going to. I mean, I think P Diddy is finished, y'all. And I think Glendale is right. This is a tragic story of a guy who had it all, And he blew it because of his lack of maturity, his sexual desires. He was thinking with the little head instead of the big head. This is crazy.
We're not going to left destitute on the street. We're going to take you for everything you've got because it is New York City. In New York City, tax crimes are looked at differently. They're looking at tax evasion. They're going to throw the book at this guy, I believe, to make him a deal. And I believe the deal they're going to make him is, now you need to spill the beans. You need to talk, and we'll give you 15 with probation or whatever, right? Some sort of a condition. I really believe this is going to happen. Other names are going to come out. Sean will talk. That's why Jay-Z is running. That's why Jay-Z is nervous. Jaguar is talking about it. So many.
They mentioned Jay-Z's name, that he is nervous about it. Wow. How many of y'all agree with that Jay-Z is nervous because maybe he's involved in this? Remember, Beyonce came out with that Lemonade album because they were having some issues in their relationship. I wonder if it's because of whatever activities were going on, if he was attending these allegedly these parties and maybe freak-offs, allegedly. I'm only alleging. I'm not saying it's facts for legal purposes.
Any other artists at the moment, the industry is squirming because they know Sean is loose-lipped. He will talk. I can share this with you. An executive from his organization ends up in my office, unannounced, in my office saying, will you help me? I'm not part of it. In my office, unannounced, in my office saying, will you help me? I'm not part of it. I run some of his brands. This guy's got tequila brands. He's got a ton of stuff. One of his executives ends up in my office. I said, how did you get in my office? He said, I'm here. You've got to help me. I said, no, we're going to come after you. You know, you've been there. You've worked with him for 17 years. You know, they're jumping. David, so brazen that he shows up at my office to say, will you help me? I want to talk. I want to spill the beans. So this is going to crumble. Now, you're going to see Hollywood film industry implicated.
Wow, this is pretty good stuff, y'all. Everybody in the chat room, I'm going to give you a clap. I appreciate everybody that's here. Thank you for coming over and watching. He's saying that a lot of things are going to crumble in Hollywood based on someone who's an executive that he talked to that came barging into his office. If you believe what this man is saying, this was on Newsmax News 2. I think something's going to crumble. I think some cookies are going to crumble here, y'all. I do believe that.
Implicated. Professional sports implicated.
Woo.
Remember, allegedly, I'll say allegedly, because they make us, right? Minors did attend these parties.
Boom. Thank you for... I thought I read somewhere today where it said that there were minors there. Umar Johnson with his big lips. Umar Johnson gets up here running his mouth instead of getting a damn school that he's been promising black folks for God knows when. Umar Johnson got up here with all this nonsense.
On the planet is saying to you right now, baby oil is not a federal crime. Stomping out Cassie, he was not charged with a crime.
He's dumb. He didn't get charged because they settled. If they never settled, everything would have come out, which is why the day that Cassie filed her lawsuit, P Diddy cut her the money the day after to make sure none of this stuff came out, including that video of him beating her that we all witnessed. See, look at him. So let's go.
Minors. That charge has not been brought yet. If that charge comes, now you're looking at life.
Woo!
Life, because the sex trafficking.
Now, how do we not know if the feds already got that evidence on video and have already searched after those underage folks that was on that video? How do we not know that those could be some of the explosive bombs that they may go to court and put out there and we may find out? That's what I'm saying. not everything that the feds have do we know about yet. They ain't showing us everything. Hell, we didn't even know about all that 1,000 bottles of baby oil that he had in there. That just came out. But that's not why they're indicting him on the baby oil. It's what he was, it was what he was doing that was illegal. And the baby oil is just more evidence of what he was using in his illegal activities, was soliciting women, men, everybody to coerce them into these sex acts, these freak-offs, you see. The freak-offs.
Charges for minors are very different. You do not have to prove force, fraud, or coercion with a minor. A minor's a victim.
Right.
The defense is going to say it's not force, fraud, coercion. The women did it at their own permission, at their own will. He told them, I'll give you a record deal.
Stop it right there. He's right. Here it is right here. If the victim is underage, this is why you must do research. You must have your facts together instead of jumping out the window, doing videos, and defending P. Diddy. If the victims are underage, it does not need to be proven because you're dealing with minors. Proven that they were forced, fraud, or coerced because the minors had no business there in the first place in a party, after hours, and any of this stuff around drugs or liquor. That's what this guy is saying.
You're going to be my girlfriend. He defrauded them. He coerced them with record deals. He put them in the studio. He made them believe they were going to be stars. He is toast. He's fried because it's actually a sex trafficking case. And I believe, especially being denied bail, remember, he pays off his mortgage, $18 million a week before he turns himself in. He was so confident. His lawyers are so cavalier that the judge would take the bail. Judge, here's an $18 million home, $50 million cash. You could put an ankle bracelet on me. I'm not going nowhere. And they go, no bail, because this guy is.
Let me read this. He's in jail right now. They have denied him bail not once, but twice. And I think he's going to get denied the third time he's trying to get bail. And let me read this. Sean Diddy Combs is in danger. It's been put out there that inside of his New York jail, as other inmates are more than willing to attack the falling hip hop star, the jail former warden of this jail has said that the 54-year-old sent to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, after his request for bail was denied and his presence is not welcome. Ex-MDC warden Lindsay told TMZ that some of the more violent inmates would even consider killing Combs as a badge of honor. Allegedly, this is what was reported. Okay? Then there was all this goofy reports about commissary, what he can get in commissary. Diddy's commissary list reveals what the bad boy can buy behind bars. You know, his loved ones can top up his commissary account for him to buy munchies like, macaroni and cheese, chocolate, covered pretzels and all this stuff, cars, nuts, grits, Spam, Oriental style chicken soup, tuna. I mean, it's crazy, folks. Those meals will set him back anything from $5 like eggplant, $9 for rib steak. Diddy will likely be spending his funds on more than extra food from the commissary. The list also outlines hygiene products available to the fallen bad boy record mogul, including toothpaste, mouthwash, shower soap, deodorant, cocoa butter, toenail clippers, a wave. He could even have a wave cap, y'all. Wave cap and more. The most expensive item under hygiene consists of 3 packs of Jarrell razors for $9.95 and a shaver clog for the $7.15. My God, man. My God. Woo. Woo, $160 spending limit according to the list. So he could only spend $160 spending limit every month, I guess, in this prison. He can get Chip Ahoy's, he can get cream stuffed cookies, he can get a medium peanut butter cup, Hershey candy bars, and Snickers and all sort of stuff. It's making me hungry, everybody. Woo. Lord have mercy. Let's get back to this, folks. This is interesting.
Over his eyeballs in water, when he realizes this, and his lawyers tell him, Sean, there's no way out, buddy. Take a deal. He'll ask for a deal. And that deal has to be names, and then those names can't just be a list of names. They have to be indicted, and they've got to go in front of a court, and they've got to be cross-examined. They've got to sit in front of a jury. And can we have that a public trial that they made Kyle Rittenhouse a public trial? Can we have a public trial? Yeah, right. Can we bring him in that the public see?
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you all. I want this to be a public trial. I want it on television. Why? Because I want to stream it, everybody. I want to stream it. We all want to. So please make it a public trial because we can now stream it, talk about it together, examine what's happening. I hope they do make this a public trial. But see, the reason why it may not be a public trial, because if there are serious entertainers on those videos, do they want everybody to know who these entertainers are? Unless these entertainers were also involved in the soliciting of girls too. Or maybe some of these celebrities were taken advantage of themselves by P Diddy and his people.
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Turn the cameras on.
Yes.
Yeah, turn those cameras on. Turn those damn cameras on, everybody.
That's exactly what I think every American needs to see. There's such this allure about Hollywood and all the athletes and celebrities and their party life, and it's so dark. It's so dark. And now to find out that there's been this systematic system of sex slavery, sex workers being drugged. I hear this as well. Maybe you can confirm, Yako. Allegedly, the Kardashians are mixed up in this. That there's some documents. There's some proof, evidence that people were being drugged, and then things.
They said the Kardashians could be dragged up into this. Whoa. Wow. Could y'all little president that y'all like, the little Donald Trump that so many black folks on social media keep putting that man's dingling in their mouth? Could Donald Trump be mixed up in this from the past? We know he was friends with Epstein.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous.
Right, but P. Diddy, you was good friends with him at one point in time. Now you're saying he need to be banished, just like you need to be banished. Both of y'all need to be banished as far as I'm concerned, but let's hear it.
This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Yeah.
We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We're taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election. No, we're in a war of love versus hate. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office. The tribe of people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death of this man is white people.
So you can see at one point in time, P. Diddy was rocking with Trump, and now on that video says he's a danger when I say both of them. I put them both in the same. The reality is that P. Diddy, you're a danger too. You're a danger too, and I'm not no Trump fan. I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not rocking with him. A man who's accusing. I don't care if these black people that come from Haiti or that are Haitians. I don't care if they're not Black American, if they're immigrants. The fact that he's lying and saying that they're going around eating dogs, and these are people that were brought there by the government, given work permits and green cards to be able to come in the country. These are not people who came in. The government brought them there, because Springfield, Ohio has lost their population and the town economy was in the dumps. But P Diddy is an animal as well. He's dangerous for America. He's been dangerous, actually, for black people.
Were being recorded, videotaped, and then that was used against executives or individuals to get further in their deals. What can you shed on that topic?
Yeah, the names and what you're going to find here, it's the same circle. It's the Epstein circle. It's the Harvey Weinstein circle. Remember, they run in packs. Football players hang with football players. Baseball players with baseball players. The industry run in packs. 15 years of freak out parties. Who do you think went through there?
15.
Everybody.
This man said 15 years of freak off parties. Wow.
They went through that. Now, does it mean they're all complicit in trafficking? No, but they saw stuff and they talk about it and they know what happens at midnight. They know what happens at midnight.
That's a really good point that he's bringing up, that even if they weren't participating in it, they saw stuff, never reported it, and they probably witnessed all sorts of stuff. He makes a good point there.
Midnight, certain things happen. Girls get naked. All of a sudden, everybody's naked. All of a sudden, they find out, oh, have I been kissing on a man or a tranny? Is this a dude or a girl?
All being recorded.
At midnight. And now one thing that cannot happen,
at
that we
midnight.
cannot skim over, is the record label executives. Remember, Sean was led into the industry by a particular record label executive. We're not going to mention his name right now.
No, but I'm going to mention his name. I believe it's Clyde Davis that he's talking about here. I believe it's Clyde Davis. Allegedly, I'm alleging that it may be Clyde Davis that he's talking about. I'm alleging. I believe. I'm not saying it's facts. I'm saying I believe that's who he's talking about, Clyde Davis.
Now, but biggest of the biggest, Godfather of American music.
That's
Made him,
Clyde Davis.
right?
It's
Funded
Clyde Davis
the
he's talking
freak out
about. You know?
parties as a mechanism to gather talent, bring them into our house, let them not go to another label, a competitive label, bring them in here, compromise them, wine and dine them, promise them, put them in the studio the morning after. Here's what happens. A girl comes in that has hopes and dreams, that has slept in her car. All of a sudden, she's with Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy tells her, you're my girl. You're my boo. She's at a party. It's a freak party, and he's having sex and not having sex. Next day, she's in the studio. He's delivering on the promise. She's in the studio with record label executives. She's like, this is my world. You traffic a person through knowing their greatest desire and their greatest need. Those two things.
Tell the truth.
So you meet the need.
That's a fact what he just said. You meet the person's need. You see what it is that they want, their weaknesses, and you apply the pressure upon that weakness, that desire, by giving them what they want, but making sure you get what you want first.
And then you play off their desire, their ambition to be a star, and you give it to them. Remember, David, I'm not speaking 30 years in human trafficking, but where did we start with human trafficking? My sister was trafficked by a record label executive. This is where this started from my family.
Wow.
We know this inside out. They deliver on actual promises. Then it becomes family. It's us. You can't break rank with us. If you go against us, they're all going against you. We got dirt on everybody. We filmed everybody. Politicians, David, wait until the names of the politicians come through, and the athletes. Wait until.
You know it's coming. Politicians that were at those parties, athletes, other entertainers and actors. Oh, yeah. Other musicians, other rappers, R&B singers. Oh, yeah. We already know that TJ Jakes, sometime back, people were saying, hey, what is TJ Jakes doing at these parties? Allegedly, it was believed that he's a power bottom. Allegedly. It's been alleged.
The names of the athletes.
What about
come through. 15 years.
What about the video? What about the videotapes? Are those going to be admissible somewhere? Is that all going to be collected? All of that stuff going to be filed so that the American people can hear it, can see it, can at least know it? We don't want to see it, but can see exactly who's on there? How confident are you that the American people this time, unlike Epstein, are actually going to be able to see the names of the people that are complicit in all this absolutely evil deeds?
Something interesting is happening. Damian Williams, the U.S. attorney, right? That's the prosecuting attorney here that filed this, right? I don't know. This guy's cut from different cloth. He's not a typical New Yorker. He's playing a different kind of a ball here. He will have to subpoena the FBI because they've got him. They raided the house, remember? The houses. Like they raided Epstein Island, like they raided everything, like they raided Rudy Giuliani's house and got Hunter Biden's hard drives. They sit with it. They've got it. They have it. They're probably going to have to be subpoenaed to present it because it's not with the court at the moment. It's not with the prosecuting attorney. It's with the FBI. Now, is the FBI going to play ball? I don't know. I hope so, David. I hope they get it court ordered by a judge to say you will release that to the court. Does the American public see it? I do not think so. I really don't. But I do think the court sees it. I think the judge sees it.
And if the court can see it,
gets to see it. Yes.
If the court and the judge and the jury can see it, then hopefully indictments can follow. Final 20 seconds. It's pedophilia behavior, it seems like. Pedophiles know how to operate, communicate, and then take advantage of individuals, younger individuals, and then basically traffic in that. It seems like it's this, but on steroids with all the lavish life behind it. Final 20 seconds, Shako.
Final 20 seconds. They're easier to trap because they're desperate for a career. They sleep in their cars. Think of the average Hollywood career. 1% makes it. They're not hard to trap.
Tell the truth.
You give them what they've always wanted. You put them in the studio. You give them fame and acclaim. You give them access. At these freak parties, you understand, it's like 50, 60 of the top A-list names in one night. For a girl who comes from the Bronx, who's had nothing, who's nowhere, it is Tinseltown. She's not going to talk, but now they will. Remember, survivors don't talk until they believe there's legal action. They're going to come out of the woodwork. With this second bail being denied, you watch. You watch the amount of plaintiffs that's going to come out.
All right, everybody. This is going to be the conclusion of the reaction program tonight, the podcast. I'm going to leave you with this video of Tupac telling you, basically exposing P Diddy, okay? Exposing P Diddy for what he is. And this is why you can't sit up here and try to make this man out to be an innocent, because you've had other people that warned us about P Diddy that we liked, that we looked up to, that we at least followed and enjoyed their music and their commentary, like a Tupac Shakur. Check this out.
Become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out and was going to go ahead about my life. The next issue, that wasn't even the next issue because them cowards waited about 4 issues before they got their story together. 4 issues later, half of New Yorkers commenting on me getting shot. And before, they was all like, we didn't see nothing. In the first issue, read it, Vibe viewers. Nobody seen shit. The 4th issue, when they came back with a reply, everybody knew what I did. They knew what I said. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in A-Vision. I only got shot once because they found the bullet. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work. They found the bullet. Oh, you found the bullet, huh? So what is this other shit in me then? What was the doctors talking about? What? Can you explain these other holes in me? How'd I get gunpowder all over me? That insulted my intelligence. So yes, I did say Thug Life was there. Yes, I bowed out, all of that. But when they said that, they breathed new life in me. Yeah. And Thug Life not only became a rap group, but it became a way of life for life for me. Because they disrespected me, my name, my family, what I had been through. They said that I couldn't be in pain. I could not feel, I could not be hurt.
Is there still a beef going on with you and Biggie?
It was never a beef. It's only a difference in opinion. Right. To me, if I my homeboy should have gave me the best advice I could ever get from anybody. He said, when people ask him if he's beefing with Bad Boy with Puffy, he says like me going to a playground and picking on a little kid.
Right.
That's like me being mad at my little brother because he getting cash now. I'm not mad at that. I'm just mad at my little brother when he don't respect me.
Yeah.
Now, when you don't respect me, I'm gonna spank your ass. I don't give a fuck how rich you got on the block. I'm your big brother.
There it is. There it is. That's the great Tupac, the late Tupac, who never trusted Biggie. No, he never trusted. Well, he had a fallout with Biggie. Definitely had a fallout with P Diddy. Never trusted him. It's unfortunate that Tupac and Biggie Smalls had a fallout over the whole issue. From what I understand, Biggie Smalls' mother never liked. People need to talk about this. Biggie Smalls, his own mother, never liked Sean Puffy Combs. Never appreciated him. Never liked him. Thought that he was shady. She had reservations about this man. And when Biggie Smalls passed away, his mother found out that he didn't own his own homes. That a lot of money that they thought he didn't have anything. Same thing with Tupac. His mother, when she was alive, looking for his masters. Suge didn't do what he should have did by the mother. The whole rap game didn't do what they should have done. Everybody keeps claiming that they love Tupac and a Biggie Smalls, but they didn't do anything for their mothers who were looking for their masters, looking for help financially. Nobody within the, maybe individuals helped them, but the community, the rap community itself, really didn't do much for both these parents of two men who were lost due to tragic and nonsense. So we're going to see what's going to happen with P. Diddy. I think that he's guilty. I think that they got too much on him. And be careful what you say, everybody, because the feds have not released all their physical evidence and visual evidence that they have on this man. You know they're going to leave a little bit of that for the trial so they can shut him down completely. So I'm not caught up in this whole thing. Oh, here go another rapper, another black man. No, here goes another bad black man who was brought down by his own demise. He was brought down, and he needs to be brought down because this man was doing more harm to black people who were dealing with him than anybody else. He was harming black folks. And most of the people who came out of his Bad Boy record, Little Caesar, Craig Mack, all these guys, they all lost money. None of them all of them signed bad contracts with big Bad Boy records. All of them got ripped off by allegedly by P Diddy economically when it came to that music business. Man was shifty. I want to thank everybody for coming out today, watching the show. Really appreciate you. Do me the biggest favor and share the video on all your social media. Like the video, share this video, like this video, share it in all your social media, share the video and like the video. I would appreciate that. Thank you for coming over. Those of you who did come over and support this particular video, this particular channel today. This is Info Media Reacts. Check out the Information Man Show, my other channel. Check that channel out too. I think you'll enjoy the things that I do over there too on the Information Man Show, one of my first channels. Definitely watch another video on this channel, share a video, and tell somebody that you love them. We can't support these type of individuals, folks. We can't afford it. These entertainers, these individuals like a P. Diddy who does harm to those in our community. And we just can't. Once these individuals are exposed, we have to let them go. We have to let the law do what it's going to have to do. He has the right to have a fair trial like everybody, right? Because once again, we live in a country where technically, not always when it comes to black people, but technically you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. The question is, Do you already see him as guilty based on the things that we know about him over a long period of history? And is this man exactly where he belongs? There are inmates in that jail that want to get their hands on him. They're talking about his commissary and what he can order and the food that he can eat and what have you. They got him in a secure unit. The question is, will he stay in that jail? Because I think his lawyers are petitioning to see if they can get him moved to a jail in New Jersey, the last I heard, because they're concerned about his safety in that facility. Same facility that R. Kelly was in, matter of fact, before he got sent upstate. So it is what it is, folks. I wish you and bless you a great day. Everyone, it is what it is, everybody. I appreciate you all. Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it. And it's about telling the truth, right?
Tell the truth.
And here we go. Take care, everybody. Peace. Peace. Peace, everybody. Take care.
So I finished what you started. Place me where your heart is. What is this feeling? Almost like I'm dreaming. Keep you in my pocket. On your chest just like a luggage. What you have, I think I need that. Let you take control. Show me how it goes. Keep letting you know until we both grow old. Whoa. You got me on my knees, begging you please. I'm not trying to make a scene, just for you and me. You belong with me. Open your eyes. The light is shining. Don't close your eyes.
You've been listening to Info Media Reacts. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Tell the truth.